Episode 117. Here we go. Welcome in there, Gyms and Gymettes, to episode 117 of the DAAAGenerates podcast. We got a great one here today. As always, our usual Cubs White Sox check-in. We had some preseason football. We'll be talking about all about that. Everything, all football today, basically. NFC North breakdown, sponsored by PointsBet. PointsBet, code SYS9. Oh boy, do I look like a glass of milk. But before we get into all that and tons more, we got some wrestling as always, as well, NBA and all that junk. Let me introduce to you my co-host, Wow Bill. Bill, how the hell are you?
Yeehaw, motherfuckers. I'm doing good. Let's just be straight up honest. I'm still fucking pissed about this whole computer bullshit. I
Indeed.
told you beforehand I took it to fucking Geek Squad yesterday at the Harlem and Irving Best Buy. Dude, did you know the Best Buy over in what is it, Melrose Park by the Chick-fil-A is closed? I
Yeah,
didn't
just
even fucking
gone.
know that. I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
I
I
saw
drove
something about being it temporarily closed. I'm like, oh boy, that's
whatever.
yeah, it might be going. Oh yeah,
So I
alrighty.
had to go to the fucking hip. I scheduled an appointment to get it looked at. I give it to some kid. He looks at it for 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, I fixed it." I was like, "No way. There's no way." He's like, "Yeah, you're connected to the Wi-Fi." It was a some driver. That's exactly what the HP people told me. They're like, "There's some driver was out of date. You had to update it," and he updated it. And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I take it home. Wasn't even home 10 minutes, and the same fucking thing happened.
Yeah.
So
No, you were
I
on with
don't.
me for like
Yeah,
yeah, exactly like 10 minutes. We were about to hit the record button and nothing kaput. So yeah,
yeah. So
that's a bummer.
same fucking shit. This laptop's busted. I'm gonna have to get a new one. It's under warranty, so thankfully I'm not gonna have to fucking spend any more money on it. But other than that, we're good. We had some Bears preseason, caught parts of the game. It was entertaining. Home game, Bears actually get a fucking win. Like you said, we had the Field of Dreams, Cubs, Sox. Uh, we got the fucking NFC North breakdown. We got a whole lot to
Mm-hmm.
talk about. It'll be a fun one.
Indeed, indeed. Before we get into all the sports and all that stuff, we had watched some other stuff over the weekend. I had some actually another little news clip, but were you able to get around to watching the Woodstock 99 documentary that was out on
I
Netflix? All
was,
right.
yeah, I did watch it.
Yeah, while yeah, like we said the HBO Max, compare and contrast. I kind of feel like thinking back on it, the HBO Max one might have been a little bit better to me. I don't know. Just
Yeah, I
I would
thought
have
so
to,
too.
yeah, but that's just like in my terms of like I don't know. I felt like I was there more with the HBO Max one and like a little bit like more behind the scenes with the Netflix one. But I like both for both parts, and I got some notes written down. I'm sure you do as well. But I mean, yeah, just kind of hit with the overall thoughts on just probably just the Netflix one. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I sort of like how they did the 3 episodes and they sort of did. I sort of felt it was like a beginning, a middle, and an end with all the 3 episodes. And they sort of spaced everything out instead of just having one whole show.
Yeah.
I did like how they brought back some of the. I forgot who it was. It was some comedian. I think it was some comedian on on the Andrew Schultz podcast. He was like, imagine being one of those people that you were like 18, 20, 22 years old when that happened. And you're just living your life. You got a wife and children and a job now. And all of a sudden, this documentary comes out, and there's a fucking clip of you just flashing your titties, or you fucking tearing down one of the fences or
Oh
everything.
yeah.
I like how they were interviewing people who were actually there and got
Yeah.
their fucking perspective from it. So that was pretty neat. But
Yeah,
yeah, I definitely
absolutely.
agree. I this one, yeah, it had its fucking parts where it was entertaining. Obviously, the whole fucking part where they were lighting shit on fire. They tore down that one uh it wasn't like an antenna. What was that fucking thing that they tore
Yeah, just
down?
like I don't know, almost like a
Was it part of
like
the
a sound. Yeah,
stage?
about part of the
Yeah, it was
sound system,
something.
basically just out in the crowd. Yeah, just they tore it apart over during was that towards the end on the Sunday or during
Yeah,
or
yeah,
oh,
that
okay,
was on the
yeah, yeah,
Sunday. Yeah.
yeah. They also tore apart, obviously, the Limp Bizkit one. That was probably just an absolute brawl on the Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
there wasn't really anything new other than, like I
exactly,
said,
there was
other
nothing.
than just there was a lot of when they presented the why, like why did this happen? I feel like they actually had the answers and not just how HBO did it, where they set it up and then it kind of just like left it out there, like, oh, this is kind of just their fault just because they did it. I feel like, oh, why was this laid out the way that it was? And then it's like 9 months prior, and it would like show them literally
Yeah.
breaking down the blueprints, showing who they were getting from. And then the one guy, I forgot who, but he was like more or less the hippy dippy guy. He was like the 21, 22-year old setting everything up when he said everyone else was in their late 30s, early 40s, and was like, I don't know. This was like not as like Woodstocky as it should be, and he was basically saying like this was all about money. This is all about money. A lot of people cut corners, a lot of cut corners there, cut corners there. He's like that was why how we found out like why water was like $4 a bottle, $12 a bottle on the Sunday at one point, just because there was no water left. It was just because they sold everything, all the food licensing to outside companies and shit like that. So they were able to make their own pricing, fucked everybody over. So like I said, at the time when you do that inflation calculator on oh my goodness on Google, like a $4 bottle of water in 1999 was like $12 now. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. And you don't even pay $9, $12 for a bottle of water anywhere. Still, you get free water stations at these festivals and camp stations now. So,
Yeah.
and
I
then
feel
yeah,
like
they
it's
broke
the same
down.
thing as
Yeah,
last time. Like
yeah.
that chaos needed to happen for us to be like where we are now.
Oh yeah, I mean
Like
camping, yeah,
like
all that stuff's way more safer now. I would say just in terms of like this. I mean, if you do the Burning Man and all the EDC festivals, all that stuff out in Las Vegas and stuff like that, they turn you away if you don't have enough water. So I mean, it's way more safe like that. So you need an abundance of water to even get in, and that was the other thing too. They were at they I think they made this point in both of them now. They took away everything. They took away all the water. They took away everything away from as soon as they walked into the camp. So it was just fucked from the get go for these people.
yeah, and I like the one part. I forgot what episode. I fucking binged them all in one night over the fucking week. It was like one in
Yeah,
the
I think
morning,
I did
and
too.
I forgot what episode it was, but they were talking about the security guards and how nobody was doing shit. Like
Oh yeah,
they
that guy
became
was great.
security, and
That
then
guy
they
was
just
great.
I don't know the guy's name, and then he just went into the fucking show
He
like
was
nothing.
Italian as fuck. It's just
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, you
yeah,
want this shit? $400. It gets you
yeah,
anywhere. It's like it doesn't get you anywhere, but he just made $400 on the weekend. Like, who gives a fuck? It
yeah.
gets you here. Yeah, I just loved it. Like, yeah, there are people walking by. The guy's just sitting in the chair doing nothing. He's the security. There was the one guy that did seem like he gave a fuck. That was on like the front
Yeah,
lines
there were like a
of the limb.
handful of
Yeah,
guys, but what
during
are
the
you gonna do?
corn. Yeah, during the corn concert was probably one of the coolest, still one of the coolest things in my mind. Just the way that Jonathan Davis was describing the experience. He's like, I had the crowd in the palm of my hand. They're jumping like waves because of the way that the sound was being carried. I just wish that even though just I don't know, just because I actually know behind the scenes part, I caught a thing on YouTube. He's just like Jonathan Davis went so hard they need to give him an IV drip afterward. He was completely
Oh
dehydrated.
shit!
Yeah, so that he gave it his absolute
Wow.
all. Yeah. So I wish they didn't. I wish they didn't paint the artists as bad as they did. They didn't do it as bad. They did a very good job of like as soon as they're just like, oh, Corn absolutely fucking murdered, and they're like, what is Bush gonna do? Then they're like, okay, Bush kind of brought it back to the Woodstocky vibe, the way that he's performing, the songs that he provided. So that was really cool that the way that they brought that insight too. He was literally there. The lead singer of Bush was talking. He's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? What songs do I play? Because like that was a key part of bringing back the whole vibe. And that was literally the last part of I guess the Woodstock vibe of the entire weekend. And that's kind of where that stops. And like Saturday is a brawl, Sunday is absolute anarchy, as we all already know. But yeah, I mean, my only other notes, I don't know, the amount of trash they did. Like I don't know, they had a lot more, like you said, more fans that were there. I feel like that was way more. They had a lot more of those interviews. Those were maybe better. Less of the artist slash like influencers that aren't
Like
even the people that
exactly,
weren't
like
even there, like
exactly.
people
That's what I was
of
gonna
the
say. The
now
people who
time.
weren't there,
Yeah,
like the 22-year-old now, the 22-year-old blue-haired
yeah,
bitch from the fucking HBO one.
yeah.
Oh, this was inciting racial profiling
Oh, and
by
yeah,
whatever the
that was the
fucking
big thing
bullshit. I was
too.
just like,
Yeah.
you weren't even there.
That
You
was the
weren't even
complete
alive when
opposite.
that shit
I
happened.
didn't feel like the Netflix one tried to push any narrative of, at
Yeah.
some point they were like, there was like like they looked at the demographic, they looked at who was there. Yeah, they were a bunch of pent up 22-year-old white guys coming out of college or whatever, going into college. Guys going ready to go see Limp Bizkit, Korn, Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. That was the demographic. And after all that played, like it was
Hey, I
kind of
know
just
you and
a
I would
toss
have
up.
fucking been there.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Corn is my favorite band. I mean, that and at the peak, like 1999, probably that would have been the peak time to go see them. Like Freak on a Leash and everything was out already. So yeah. So I
I wish I
mean,
had the actual mic to do that in,
yeah.
but
Oh, I
no,
wish I
my
had
computer's
bagpipes.
fucked.
I wish I had the bagpipes. I wish I could do that.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's see. It said the talent got treated really well. The fans not so much. They made a big deal about the VIP section slash like the artist section being just groomed from head to toe, food everywhere. Make sure make sure you sign that big board that made another appearance, and then you'd look over the wall, and it's basically a refugee camp. There's no water in sight. Everyone's on the ground just burning because of the sun. There's no shade. It's just absolute chaos. And yeah, I don't know. I also like that they did a bigger in-depth part on the DJ cave. I feel like that made more of an appearance as opposed to the HBO one that wasn't a big enough deal. They felt like the Netflix one made it so that was the turning point. That's where the fans turned on everything. They stole the fucking truck. They brought it into the crowd. Whatever DJ Slapdick or whatever the fuck, fat slim fat, whatever the hell his name is, had to stop his show and just get on out of there. So yeah, and then again they made it a big deal on the Sunday episode. People get artists coming in and leaving, and then the same thing with the Red Hot Chili Peppers performance. So I mean, overall, I would think the Netflix one is almost like a Cliff Notes version of the HBO one, but I would recommend both, obviously, honestly. So I'd
yeah.
definitely dive in. And then yeah, the only other big difference I think there's not that Metallica guy that died. There's no that you don't get to hear his diary. Obviously, that would have been like just a complete rip off of the HBO one. So it's good that you do learn more and newer information from this Netflix one. Like I said, a lot more like understanding of why of places, and then just everything else. So both pretty good. But like I said, the 45 minutes to an episode goes by pretty fast. So it's worth it. It's worth the watch. So yeah. Any final closing notes on it? I'm gonna go ahead and read over my stuff just in case.
No, yeah, I think you about fucking wrapped it up perfectly. They yeah, a lot of the same. Like you said, the HBO one a little more in detail. I do like how the Netflix, what was it called? Trainwreck, Woodstock 99.
Yeah,
They
that
talked a
was a
little
Netflix
more
one.
with the
Yeah.
actual people that were actually there and not just some fucking 24-year-old barista from Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they were actually talking to people who were there.
I
So
want to
yeah, they were
know.
both
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah. I want to know if that James Brown story is true or not. I want to know for sure. Do you remember that? What he said in that beginning? He's like,
No, remind me.
James Brown is about to get on the stage, and he's like, his agent's calling the bald guy that
Oh
he's like,
yeah.
he's not getting on the stage. And he's like, James Brown recognized the moment, and then he got on stage, whether or not he
No,
was getting paid early or whatever. So
I don't believe that.
I don't trust that. I felt like he was probably just like, yeah, I paid James Brown. I definitely had to pay him. I probably paid him more than I should. So yeah, I felt like that story is the absolute bullshit. I feel like that guy, the two runners of the company or of the Woodstock. I mean, at this point, it kind of was a company. It took a turn. They didn't look so great, and then you read at the end, like 2 months, 3 months after this recording, the one guy ends up dying. So I guess there's not going to be another Woodstock. I thought there was a plan for another one. I felt like when we talked about the HBO one, there was plans in fruition for like a 2025 or something like that. But nope, not gonna happen. He gone. Oh, jeez.
It'll happen eventually, especially with these
Yeah,
two things.
probably.
These two documentaries coming out gets a little more traction under the name Woodstock,
Yeah,
and as popular as music fests are in general, one day,
yeah,
maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. I feel like one day though, someone will revive the Woodstock
yeah,
name, brand, music fest, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, absolutely. I'm like I said, reading over the notes. Both the things that both of them shared. It was basically MTV versus MTV versus the fans. They were mad at the capitalism, mad at everything like that. Break stuff caused everything. The song by Limp Bizkit. Fun quote fun turned into survival, and then let me see. They both just blame Limp Bizkit. The one runner of the event just completely blames Fred Durst for everything. So that was basically both notes. I'm still reading both. Yeah. Talent just disgusted by some of the acts and stuff like that. Like by the fans and shit like that. They weren't happy. But like I said, I did like that they had Jonathan Taylor there. He's Jonathan Davis, not Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, I was gonna say my first overall pick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Congrats on that. I know you got the first round pick in your
Might be a
draft.
blessing or a curse. Who
Mm,
knows?
we'll see on
I'm
that.
trying to trade it away, honestly.
Oh. Oh, the other one last thing I'll wrap it up on. Something we've been talking about with Miss McMahon. Bunch of NDAs. A lot of NDAs fucking signed. I hope a lot of people didn't because a lot of people got fucked over. So, like I said, without I don't know, maybe spoiling any more, or just wrapping it up, I like in general. Go watch Woodstock, Trainwreck Woodstock 99 on Netflix, as well as the HBO Max one. So free plug, no free plug or whatever. So go do it. It's pretty good. Uh did you have anything? I had one more thing if you had anything else before we get into Sox, White
No, yeah.
Sox,
What do you
Cubs
got
things.
for us? I didn't
So
have nothing fun for us
for
playing this
show, for
weekend.
show.
This week.
Let me pull up the article and maybe we can read along the cliff notes and some of this bullshit. So if we recall, the NASCAR is gonna have a Chicago street race going on. I don't remember exactly the date. Hopefully, my this article doesn't freeze while I'm talking to you about it either. So yeah, gonna be July 2023 of yeah, exactly. It's coming in. They're gonna do a whole race, yada yada, keep cop kaboo. I think we already talked about how we're probably not gonna go and how traffic's gonna be fucked either way. The trains and all that bullshit. So get this. They're just not paying. They're basically just not paying like anything to be here. I mean, they're paying money and everything and all that bullshit, but if they cause damage to the city in terms of like, the cars driving on this already shitty Chicago roads, their only deposit is like $50,000, $100,000. Like I'll make up. Maybe I'm making it up, but like the numbers are right there in the article. You can go ahead and find it on. Let's see what I'm reading from Jalopnik, JALOPNIK.com. The lopsided terms of NASCAR's Chicago Street Race. That is the title of the lopsided terms of NASCAR Chicago Street Race permit come to light. NASCAR security deposit only amounts to $50,000 per year for potential damages to Chicago streets. And so the sum of it is basically the city's getting fucked. They're paying less than they would for Lollapalooza, and then they're going to be shutting it down basically 2 weeks in advance and a week afterwards. So people living there are going to be upset that they can't go into the public parks and stuff like that. I'll just toss it up to you and just in terms because I mean I'm not upset, but I just see like damn the city kind of fucked up. They could have got a lot more money out of this. They fucked up big time. So I don't know who was in charge of that. Uh, I don't know. Maybe like I said, something to look into. I'll kind of glance over more of the article as I get your opening thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, just reading at the article and the $50,000 security deposit for damages to city infrastructure is what I'm reading right now, and that does not seem like a lot because
That's
I
not
don't
going to
know if
fix
I don't,
dick.
I don't exactly. First off, like you said, the roads and the streets and everything down in the fucking city of Chicago They're all pieces of shit. We are known for potholes and just terrible streets here. I don't know the exact path that they've picked for this race so far, but I mean, you better hope nobody crashes, because God forbid, I don't know, someone gets bumped, goes through a fucking rail and takes out a bunch of
The
trees,
Lincoln
or
Memorial, for
exact
Christ's sake.
or some
Yeah.
fucking they crash into the Bean, or they crash into the fucking Buckingham Fountain downtown. That seems like a very fucking low number to me. Obviously,
Yeah, that's
I
not
don't
going to
know too
fix
much about
anything.
fucking NASCAR. I don't give two fucks. Uh, I think Lori Lightfoot's just trying to do this to, get Chicago in the news for something other than, 9 shootings over the weekend.
Yeah, bump that number up. Yeah, just the permit fee slowly increases throughout through the years. Like it says, 550,000 through 2024, goes up to 605,000 2025, and yeah, like I said, it. Let me see, Lollapalooza. We get 6 million from Lollapalooza permit payments alone. That's what.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it says. So I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. Let me see what this quote says. Compared to what we get from Lollapalooza, we get 6 million from Lollapalooza permit payments. We're going to get under 1 million from NASCAR for tying up downtown and Grand Park during the summer. That's what this quote says. So that's doesn't look good. Like it says, from what you're gonna get in return for this NASCAR, which is already a very niche fan thing. It's gonna be a bunch of kids that don't give a fuck about racing probably going down there. If you need to buy a ticket, or if it's somewhat free, people are just gonna try and barge in to begin with. So yeah, it's gonna be chaos, all for not a lot of value in return. So not a good move in my return. Not now looking at it now, when we were probably like, oh, race in Chicago, that's gonna be pretty cool. Do you want to go? Like, do you want to go down there? Yeah, no, absolutely not now. So yeah, now just thinking about having that be a crash, it just sounds even worse. So sounds terrible.
Yeah.
See
Better
how the
hope
Las Vegas one
everything
goes.
goes right, because it'll be a hell of a lot, more expensive for the city if something goes wrong,
Yeah,
because that 50,000 ain't gonna pay for shit.
yeah.
It
What would be the
God
thing?
forbid, God forbid. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with the track and the crowd and the people down there. God forbid a car fucking flips, fucking spins, and kills somebody, hits a fucking fan.
Yeah,
You
there
are
are
the city of
yeah.
Chicago and NASCAR are going to be fucked.
Yeah, the
And
amount of negatives.
I've seen some of these races that are overseas, that are in Europe, that are in Italy, Australia, that are like these street races in big cities. The crowd seems pretty fucking close to the action, and that's the draw. Like, a lot of people like going because they're not right up on a wall, but they're pretty damn close to where they can feel, the fucking car fucking zoom right by them. And I don't know. It doesn't feel like the city is taking all the right steps. Fuck, we might have another Woodstock '99 here, but with the NASCAR, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like they're taking the proper steps to make sure this thing's safe, and to cover the city's ass, and to cover the fans' asses that are going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it sounds like there's a ton of negatives that are outweighing any sort of positives that you can bring up.
Lori Lightfoot don't care though. She's like, okay, 3-4 people die. That's fine. That's nothing. That's a fucking Wednesday morning here.
That is truly a Wednesday morning in the
She don't care.
yeah, no, she didn't give a fuck.
Fucking bitch.
Gee whiz, kid. I think without further ado, I mean, I don't have anything more on there. I wish I maybe looked into it more, but I'm like I said, if you look up those keywords, like I said, let me see, the lopsided details of NASCAR's Chicago street race permit. That's what you'll find in the article that I'm looking at. Without further ado, after I plug in my charger for this computer so it doesn't fucking die mid-recording, we can get into we can get into some White Sox Cubs breakdown. I don't really remember who went first, who went last time. So what do you feel like doing?
No, I think I went first with the fucking field of games breakdown, or the
Field of
preview.
games.
Field of dreams, field of games, field of
Fucking field day.
snores.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
low key. I'm not even joking. I took a nap during that game. That was
no, I was watching it on and off. I was only watching when my guys who I had in my parlay. I had an 8 leg parlay. Four of them hit in the first inning, and I just needed Wilson Contreras to get a hit, Patrick Wisdom to get a home run, Magical to get a hit, which he did in like the fifth, and then
yeah.
there's the Cubs to fucking win. So I was really from the fifth inning on, I was only watching when Wilson Contreras and Wisdom were up to bat. That was really it. And then I watched, I think, the final 3 outs.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, overall that game was pretty cool. The only thing I had was Kyle Farmer to hit one into the corner to have a home run. I forgot what the odds were on there, like plus 450 or something like that. But yeah, I could start off if you want me to. I'll
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, alrighty. Let me see, let me bring it up. Let me go ahead and go here. White Sox. Oh boy. This division, it's gonna be a bit of a dogfight, isn't it? Since we last spoke, the White Sox dropped 3 out of 4 against the Royals, but somewhat made up for it by taking care of business, sweeping the Tigers as we should. This Tim Anderson news has been basically it's been a downer. It's been a big downer. Uh, but the bat of Eloy has been red hot. That's been a big plus. Plus, Andrew Vaughn getting being the most consistent guy on the team that isn't named Jose. So that's pretty cool. Vaughn is now second on the team with hits, coming in clutch, just hit after hit. He essentially won the game against the Tigers the other day with getting that 2-run double, winning 2-0 on Friday. He trails only Aaron Judge in RBIs recorded after the 7th inning. So which indicates to me he's producing and coming up with game winners and those oh so crucial insurance runs at the end of games, just capping it off and making sure that we capitalize, like I said, and we bring in Hendricks for the close. So that's been pretty solid. And we need that now more than ever with Robert coming in and out of the lineup with his lightheadedness or whatever it seems to be. Like I said, Anderson's out. Grandal and Moncada don't know what's going on. They don't seem to have any sort of clue how to hit the ball. So Vaughn in the lineup every single day, whether he's DHing, playing first, or playing right field. We need him in the lineup. So that's pretty great. Yeah, getting to Moncada and Grandal, they need to figure it out. It's just absolutely unacceptable for them to be hitting 199 and 198 respectively, and just like I said, just not for what they're getting paid. They can't. That's just not acceptable. I don't know. I don't know if it's like I said. I don't know if I've said the stat already, but whether it was on here or off the thing, Yaz hasn't hit a home run since the semifinals of the NBA playoffs. He still has 2 home runs on the year.
Yeah,
The year. He hasn't hit one since Chris Paul and Devin Booker got embarrassed in Game 7. For Christ's sake. So I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Just poor performance, along with TA getting injured. Just more of a reason to get upset about the lack of trade movement at the deadline. But that's just wasted breath at this point. At least we won the Shields and Tatis trade, but I guess we'll get to that more later. Some more stellar pitching this week. We were some let me see what I would. Some were all for not, like Cease's performance, but Cueto again just going absolutely ballistic. Goes 8 innings. He's losing the game. He gives a fucking strikes the last guy out. Gives a fucking hoorah! Let's get this shit going. And sure enough, they come back four runs in the bottom of the 8th and win 4-2. He continues to pump out quality start after quality start. I believe he's had 16 starts on the year. 15 of them he's gone 6+ innings. He leads the team, and that's pretty solid considering he didn't start the beginning of the year with the team. I believe Kopech is second with 13. Or excuse me, not Kopech, Cease. Kopech has 11. So I mean, just we got to get these starters going later, going way deeper than they should. That's just what that indicates to me. Along with his comments, I'll talk about just him bringing up, the heart and soul, like not enough hustle on the team. He has every right to bring that up. And at this point, it's gonna come. It's gonna be stuff like that, comments like that from your peers that are gonna want to get you fired up. So it's nothing from Tony La Russa being said at this point. means anything. He talks every single day, talks out his fucking ass. He doesn't none of it's comprehensible to begin with. So it doesn't matter. So when you hear something like that from a guy that's been there, he's been to the dance, he's fucking been there late, he's been in clutch situations. We listen to him. Something like that, it's gonna rally something, and then sure enough, it's kind of has. Get like I said, getting that late little rally in the bottom of the eighth, that probably doesn't happen at the beginning of the season. So that's been pretty awesome. Let me see. Lynn struggled earlier this week. Oh well. Kopech, I don't remember him doing so fondly either. But Giolito, good for him to have a bounce back game against the terrible Tigers. He's been having not so great of a stretch. Like I said, maybe he just gets in there, he gets his mind right. Like I said, just previewing back, this division is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I don't know what to do. The Twins' tough schedule finally caught up to them. They've fallen into second place. They're currently tied with the Sox in the division. That's good. Fuck the Twins. The Guardians have taken advantage of this. They've had the little lighter of a schedule right now. And as of late, they've been, fortunate enough to take first place right now, kind of keeping it warm for the Sox, for the White Sox to nab later. Again, we want to win as many games as possible, because 2 out of the last 3 series of the year for the White Sox, we play the Twins. We want to get as many wins in the meantime as possible, because that could be 2 humongous series right there that can almost determine whether or not we can get into the playoffs or just win the division. We have no idea. Let me see here. Sox get Houston and Cleveland coming up. Like I've mentioned, we got a light schedule after that, so we got to finish things strong. Got to do this. We got to do it right. I believe the Guardians have the Tigers right now. They'll get the Sox after, but then they have the Padres for 2. They have the Mariners and the Orioles, the Mariners are battling for a wild card spot. They're basically right there. They're tough. The Orioles, they've come out of nowhere. They're like 4 or 5 games above 500. They're playing fantastic ball right now. And did you know? Heard this stat the other day. They've basically become what the White Sox were the past couple of years. They're becoming the bash the lefty team. They have the best money line winning percentage against lefties this year. So whenever the Orioles are playing against a lefty pitcher, hammer the Orioles. There you go. That's a little tip from me. So like I said, they got those guys coming up. The Sox play them too, so be mindful of that. The Orioles of old are not what they used to be. The Twin schedule stays pretty heavy after they get the Royals and the Rangers. The Rangers, they just fired their manager, so hopefully it's just like maybe a fuck you series to the manager or something like that. Maybe they take two or three against the Twins. Maybe they sweep the Twins. That'd be great. Then they get the Astros right after, and the Giants and the Red Sox to finish out their month. So they have a pretty rough schedule for the rest of this get go. So let's get these games. Let's win these fucking games. That's really all I have to say. There's a lot of season left. There's a lot of possible outcomes with a lot of chances for the Sox to win this division. Still very possible. So win these games. Take care of what you need to. Take care of the teams that are just absolutely putrid. And hopefully the Guardians and the Twins catch way more losses than they need to. Bada boom, bada bang, division title. Go White Sox.
Wow. Great fucking breakdown. Yeah, those last 6 games against the Twins, that's gonna decide, the division winner, in my opinion. I liked,
very possible.
The Guardians, they got good pitching. Their offense is it's either really good or really bad.
Jose Ramirez is second in the league in RBIs behind Judge.
Yeah, so, he's having a great season.
Great season. So you can't take that.
I still think it's going to come down to the Sox or Twins, and those last 6 games are going to be huge. One last thing on the White Sox. Did you see that video of fucking Tony La Russa last night?
Yes, at the Sox game? That was great,
dude.
Go ahead.
That was absolutely hilarious. You even said it earlier. Like, Tony La Russa's talking every day. He's talking out of his ass. I don't think anybody in the fucking locker room is even taking that dude seriously anymore. And then last night, 8th inning, Eloy ties it up. I don't know what the score was, but he was on second base, and 8th inning, so he's probably not going to come out and play defense in the 9th. And you see the video of the fucking fan yelling at Tony. Some older dude gets his fucking attention. He's like, "Tony, pinch run angle." pinch run angle, and
Yeah.
there were three different angles of it, and the one that was going around, you don't really see Tony until he like walks out and he like calls time.
Yeah.
There was this other angle of there was someone sitting like 3-4 rows back who got it all like they weren't when they were recording with their phone, they were holding their phone to the side, so they got a nice wide view, you know. And Tony La Russa was clear as day looking at that dude the whole time. He heard exactly what he said.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we like to sit here and talk shit about coaches and managers, no matter what sport it is. And you know, we like to sit at the compound and talk our shit. Oh, I can fucking do that. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, a fan actually did it.
Yeah.
Like a fan managed a baseball game last night and won the game for the White Sox. Engel came around and scored the go-ahead run,
Yes, he
and
did.
then played defense in the ninth inning, and the Sox won. What was it, 4-2?
4-2
I
to
think
win.
4-2. They won it.
Yep.
That was absolutely hilarious. That just shows how I mean
Shows
there's
how
been so
little
many.
he's paying attention.
Exactly.
I mean, he's
exactly.
it's either that or that he just doesn't realize that he's not that his programming is off. I mean, yeah, he was probably going to, if they got the lead, they were probably gonna get Engel in there for a defensive substitution. But yeah, the for sure move would have been to get just Engel in there for the pitch run. So yeah, shout out to that guy
Exactly.
for
You
that.
got Eloy, who's
Yeah.
already had a number of hamstring pulls and injuries in his
Yeah.
career, in a tie game and scoring position in the bottom of the eighth inning. Why not put in Adam Engel?
Yeah,
Like that's what Adam
absolutely.
Engel is there for, and Tony La Russa doesn't notice that. He
He did
doesn't
his job,
realize,
and
oh,
he and
I
he
should
did
do
his job
that.
on the day. He did a decent little job at playing defense that day, and then he had 2 knocks on the day. So I mean, like I said, his back continues to stay
Yeah,
hot. So I mean, yeah, that's the absolute good move right there. I love that. Just in my little little Facebook page that I saw, he's like, "Oh, what a great move by Tony!" And then I don't know if the guy was fucking around or just meaning for somebody to send that link right away. But sure enough, that comment got ratioed in the post, like just a bunch of likes to the link to the tweet or the Twitch or oh my god, the TikTok. There's so many T's. Oh geez. Yeah, so that's White Sox. Like I said, hopefully Tony La Russa wakes up. But spoiler alert, he's not going to. So we'll get that. Just more wins. That's all we want. We get another one. Like I said, I'm previewing. I'll get back really quick. Just previewing this upcoming. We got 3 more against the Astros, and like I said, three against the Guardians. I don't know. I really just if we can get one more against the Astros and split, that would be great. We have so many great fucking pitching matchups tonight. It's going to be Verlander versus Cease, the number 1 and number 2 AL Cy Young guys going up against it. Giolito versus oh god, they have another one like Juarez or your Quady or something like that. They got a good guy going against them, and then we got Kopech going up against them as well. So we got all our guys. I mean, we all have aces. They're all aces. They're all going. They're just phenomenal pitching matchups every single day. I would say go Nerfies and go low totals, but I want the White Sox to score, so I'm not going to do that. So there you go. That's it. That's it.
here we go. Yeah, I'll take it over real quick. Not a whole lot to talk about the Cubs wise. We did have the field. I said it again. Field of Dreams game last Thursday. Cubs won that one 4-2. Fucking boring baseball game. Looking before that, we've had a 3-game series against Washington. We won 2 out of 3 there. Took 1 out of 2 over little weekend series, you know, to finish up that 3-game set against the Reds. And then starting on Monday, we had a 5-4 loss yesterday against the Nationals, which is good. We need the Cubs to lose to the Nationals because I told you last night I have a bet
Yes,
that the Pirates will have the worst record in the MLB, parlayed with the Dodgers having the best record in the league. The Dodgers just hit 80 wins last night. They're the first team to do it, so that one's looking good. The Nationals unfortunately have I think 36 wins right now to the Pirates 44, 45. So we're going to need the Pirates to start losing some games. Nationals, Tuesday, Wednesday coming up tonight and tomorrow. Take the fucking games against the Cubs. I don't give a fuck. The season's been over. So yeah, we'll be rooting for the fucking Nationals tonight and tomorrow just for my fucking bank account's sake. But going back to the Field of Dreams game, it was a pretty boring game. Most of the offense, happened in the fucking first inning for the Cubs. Um, uh, it was good. I like the little pregame ceremony. We didn't get Kevin Costner like we did last year in the Sox game. But we did get Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. coming out of the corn. You want to have a catch. That was a cool moment. So fun, they're gonna pull out all the stops with all the fucking theatrics before and after the game. Unfortunately, they tried doing it in the middle of the game with the seventh inning stretch and a hologram of Harry Carey, and that was fucking terrible. I'll give them a 2 thumbs up for the idea, but the execution is 2 thumbs down because that did not look like fucking Harry Carey. It looked like someone printed out a picture of Harry Carey on a fucking color printer and just put it on someone's face with like scotch tape.
Maybe a bold saying, maybe a bold statement. But I think maybe a performance of someone bringing out like a dog, maybe like just having like, I don't know. Like it would have probably been more acceptable if Michael Vick came out and just beat a dog to death. Like that would have been more like people would have been less upset about that than
I honestly
that Harry Carey thing was an abortion of a fucking experience. Yeah, that was terrible.
It was pretty fucking bad. I know the
mouthing
came
was
out
off
beforehand.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was like you were watching some fucking Chinese day soap drama, whatever the fuck they're called, where the words are all fucking.
It looked like at
delayed.
Chuck E. Cheese when the fucking when the stand-up machines, when the audio is off, but the thing with the mouth is still going. It's
I know what you're talking about.
Welcome to the 7th inning, and everybody. Yeah, it's just fucking terrible. It just looks so bad. Yeah, I don't know
thought. I know earlier in the day, or maybe the day before, they had came out and announced what they were going to do, and I didn't hear about it. But I knew they said before the game they had something special planned for the 7th inning stretch. I immediately thought it was going to be something to do with Vin Scully. That would have been sick. That would have been awesome. I know it was a Cubs Reds game, but who gives a fuck? It's the Field of Dreams, Dyersville, Iowa. Vin Scully just passes away. That would have been cool to, I don't know, play a video package of him singing the 7th inning stretch somewhere, sort of like they did a couple weeks ago after his passing at the Cubs game. That's honestly what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, we got, like you said, someone just went to a Shell gas station and put their ass right up against the bathroom wall and shit everywhere. Because that was fucking that was terrible. But anyway, fun game, fun time, I guess, watching the game beforehand. Parlay
rather
didn't
watch
hit.
Starling Marte beat up his girlfriend than watch that
again.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. So it was fun. Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. got to see them play a little catch. A couple Johnny Bench, he did a cool little interview beforehand.
Yeah,
Fergie Jenkins was there. A couple of the other Reds and the Cubs legends were there. So all in all, it was a fun little time. We're not going to have it next year. I know you said they're going to be doing some renovations over there to the stadium, which I like. They're making it. They're actually going to make it. There's some rumors that they're going to play some Little League World Series games there, and they're going to make it into a huge complex.
That's awesome. I mean, they have all that
they're
gonna land. Put multiple, so much. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
They're going to put multiple like Little League, different levels of Little League baseball stadiums all over that place. So it'll just be a big tourist attraction.
Go what? Do that.
Have Little League tournaments.
Do that, but if they're gonna have the Little League thing, and then I don't know if you heard anything about this, or they're not really making a big deal about it. All that money goes into Little League things, but they don't have they don't pay umpires or anything. Those are all volunteers apparently. So get some sort of system to pay umpires if these executives are getting millions of dollars for basically child labor. So if that's going to happen, pay some umpires, get that going. But that sounds awesome. Don't mean to shit on that in any ways. But yeah, they have all that land, tons of stuff to do. I guess, yeah, they're going to Who do you want to see in 2024? I mean, there's gonna be so many matchups. Maybe bring back the Yankees and Red Sox or something like that. Maybe bring in who's gonna be a really good team next year. Maybe the Mets and I mean, I can keep going back to the Yankees because that was going to be like the big viewership. I heard that was the big thing. Obviously, the Cubs and the Reds being in the shitter didn't bring in a lot of viewership. You know, brought in 3.5 million people or something like that, with roughly like 1.7 million sticking around or something like that. Big drop off from when the White Sox and the Yankees were playing. So shout out to that. Maybe just because it's like, oh, been there, done that, or maybe just because they were recording it or something like that. But or it could have been for the exact reason the Cubs and the Reds just they stink right now. So I mean, it just not really.
Yeah, and the Reds, that's not a huge fan base
Yeah, not a
either.
big market for the Reds. It would have been Red
Cubs, I
or
get
Cubs
that.
Cardinals would have
Yeah.
been crazy.
Yeah,
Would have
that
been
would have
a
been
big one.
awesome. That
Yeah,
would have been sick.
that would have
The
been.
one that I
Yeah.
want to see more than anything, I know you mentioned Yankees, Red Sox. Uh I want to see the Dodgers in it. And I want to see
Okay.
either the Dodgers play the Giants, which would be pretty cool. They're both
Okay.
two big markets, two big fan bases, or you get the Dodgers, Yankees, the Dodgers being the
Mm,
old Brooklyn
yeah, that's a good
Dodgers. You get
one.
the two throwback teams like that, mix a little
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson in there, Vin
Those old
Scully.
jerseys could be cool too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
yeah,
thinking yeah,
that would
like
be cool.
Braves Mets would be good, something like that. Just I mean, any division rivalry, anything like that, but like a well-known division rivalry. We can't just have, you know, as much as I would love it, Sox Tigers can't be in there. Like that's just not going to be big enough for viewership. Uh yeah, you just need the big market teams. You need the big boys there. Uh, and it kind of probably didn't help. You can't look in a crystal ball and know beforehand, but no home runs, no balls into the corner.
Yeah, no,
So
that was a
that was a
very upset.
bummer. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'd like to see the Dodgers in it. Get the Dodgers, Giants, Dodgers, Yankees, and definitely not in. It won't be next year, but 2024, 2025, whenever they do it again.
yeah, build up
Hey,
the
let's
anticipation
get
again. Make we
exactly.
can't miss you or what can't like you or something if you don't go away or something like that. Whatever. If we can't miss you if you don't go away, that's what it is. So yeah, we're gonna miss the game a little bit. Come
Yeah,
back and do
somewhere
your
down the line, get a fucking Cubs Sox one in there because Chicago's two
hey
and zero.
yeah
Chicago's 2-0 at the Field of Dreams.
yes they are
That would be especially. I think even with the struggles the White Sox have had this year, I still think they're going to be a good team going forward. And with the Cubs potentially 3-4 years down the fucking line, maybe being another team 2026, 2027 Cubs Sox Field of Dreams game. I think that would be real
yeah.
entertaining. Two big markets, two good teams, two undefeated teams battle for the corn.
Yeah. If these just thinking about it right now in terms of entertainment, I know they're going to do the renovations to add little league ballparks and stuff like that, but maybe it would be pretty cool if they added some sort of stage for, concerts, artists to come in,
Yeah.
have like pre-show or after show, a lot of people showed up for the Detroit White Sox game the other day just cuz Cascade was performing. So hopefully, now that you go be careful. Maybe wipe your seat down. You don't want any of that fucking cocaine residue or that Molly shit getting all on your chair, and you're like tweaking out during the Royals White Sox 6 inning. You're like, why? Well, I can taste the colors. That's a really good nacho. And you're like, okay, so maybe it's just like that. So be careful when you're over there. All those needles, make sure you toss them away, or maybe get some security. But it's just stuff like that. Maybe get, like I said, maybe 2 or 3 day thing. You get a couple artists, get a couple get a couple bands, like get the key demographic and have a post show or a pre show concert. That's just more stuff to I don't know. Just more people would be drawn in. I know I love the the exclusiveness of only having like 5,000 tickets or whatever, but yeah, that's I don't know. I heard you got to get on a list to even buy to purchase them, and then they were reselling on secondary markets for
Yeah,
upwards of $900. So yeah,
maybe find a way to add another grandstand on the right field line because all they have down the right field line right now is like all the trailers and all the production trucks. Like you
yeah,
can put those somewhere else and put more fucking seats there.
yeah. It could look
So
more visually pleasing. It could definitely do
yeah,
that. Yeah, instead of just I wouldn't. It doesn't look hacky at all. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good for probably what they have out there. I mean, they're in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. I'm assuming. So I haven't looked at the geolocator on Google. So uh, yeah. Hopefully it's just bigger and better. And hopefully not too over the top. Hopefully you got a little bit of the old timey stuff still there. And they don't go too crazy how they would, bringing it back to the Woodstock. Hopefully they don't do crazy capitalism. They keep the origin for what it's worth. So I don't know. I just keep that in mind. But hopefully it is a little bit bigger. Hopefully it is a little bit bigger in 2024. Yeah, I don't know if did you have any more Cubs? I don't mean to cut you off or anything. We started.
No, yeah, one little thing just regarding play. I always like to give a couple players their shine, a couple players their due that are playing well. Nick Madrigal finally back in the lineup. He's been all last year, all off season, and in the beginning of this year dealing with injuries, a hip injury. He had that hamstring injury from last year with the White Sox. I think
Hey,
he
that's
had a
not our
shoulder
fault. That's
injury.
not our fault. That what you guys were getting. That's not our fault. That's not our fault.
So he's finally back. He's healthy. And in the last 15 games for Nick Madrigal, he's batting 348 with an OPS of 444. And I think he actually had a little 9-game hit streak in there too. So good to see him playing. He's not playing every day, playing, day here, day there. But when he is playing, starting over at second, making a couple good plays. And like I like to call him an MLB, just blooping the ball all over the place. That's bloop right there. So I think he actually had, was it 2 hits, 3 hits in the Field of Dreams game? I could be wrong. Maybe it was the game before that. He had 3 hits, but good to see him healthy. Good to see him hitting the fucking ball. I mean, a fucking 350 average over the last 15 games. That's pretty decent. So something fucking nice to look forward to going into next year. Other than that, no other Cubs news. I hope we lose tonight. I hope we lose tomorrow. And go Nationals. I'm a Nationals fan for the rest of the year. They call up CJ Abrams, one of the top prospects they got in the Juan Soto trade. And, he's going to be exciting to watch for them playing probably shortstop for the Nationals. So hopefully he can kick it up here at the end of the year, get the Nationals some wins. Yeah, they're sitting at 39 right now, and Pittsburgh is sitting at 45 wins.
Ooh,
So
okay.
6 games back. We need the Nationals to go on a little bit of a win streak here to end the year and hopefully win a little bit of money. Oh, fuck.
That's what it
Detroit
is. You have the
and
You have the
Oakland.
Pirates.
Oh,
Yeah, the
damn it. I didn't
Pirates, not
realize.
the. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Pirates have the lowest.
Pirates to have the worst record in the league,
Okay.
and the Dodge parlayed with the Dodgers to have the best. And I just realized Detroit has 44 wins, Oakland has 41. So I'm gonna need them to start winning some games too.
Are you sure it's in the entire MLB, including the AL and
Yeah, no, it's
NL?
it's
Okay.
the
All
entire
right.
league.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure. Sometimes they do break it down in terms of just the or in terms of just the league, but yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, if you had no more on the Cubs, I had just what we had on the Field of Dreams game, but we basically went over that. The only extra thing I had for MLB this week was Tatis getting suspended. That's why I kind of alluded to earlier as to why the White Sox finally and make it official. They won the James Shields Tatis trade. You can say what you will.
They
We
didn't.
we won. We won.
They
We
didn't.
won. We won.
No
We won.
way.
He's a drug addict. What else can I say? You can't trust him.
So is
You
John
can't trust
Moxley.
him. No, he's clean. You can't trust him for what it is, for what it's worth. And it's gonna be just like it's not gonna be like Ryan Braun where he kind of falls off. It's gonna be like all the other guys where they just fall off the fucking face of the earth. Why else did he jump from 24 home runs to 42? Well, he's fucking using the juice there, Jim. So yeah, he's a dirty, no good cheater. 80 games should be forever. But no, I mean, he said he denies it. That's what everyone says.
Yeah, weird
Uh,
fucking story that he came up with.
did you hear
Ringworm
what?
that he was fighting
Oh,
off ringworm with
gross.
some, I forgot what the name of the fucking was. It was like a cream or some spray that he sprayed on his fucking head that's supposed to get rid of ringworm. And it even says, I forgot what the name of the shit was. Uh, I was reading the article yesterday too. But the thing had a really fucking weird name, and it's like you can't take this stuff with this name and expect it to like you to be clean
Yeah.
afterwards because it had such a dirty name. It was like that old pre-workout, the jacked 3D stuff that's illegal
Uh,
now because they were basically putting meth in it.
oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
when you were taking jacked 3D, that it's not good for you because because of the fucking name. It was the same with the shit he was taking.
Making your heart
Uh,
pump like a fucking freight train
yeah, your
engine.
fucking eyeballs popping out of your head.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, he's a no good cheater.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's getting 80 games. I don't know if they're trying to do some sort of appeal. I don't know when it's going to actually start because from my understanding, he's probably going to be still on the IL. I don't know when he comes off of there. Did he come off? Was he starting to play? I don't remember,
He was
honestly.
he was supposed to come back the end of this regular season and play postseason with them, and that's why a lot of people, especially Padres fans and the players, are all pissed off. Because they're thinking, oh, we get Soto, we got Machado, we're going on a fucking run when Tatis comes off the IL for the playoffs. So yeah, I don't know the exact time frame he
Yeah,
was supposed to come off, but he was expected to play this season going into the playoffs.
yeah.
Um, you
This
know,
news severely impacted their odds on all the sports books. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah, it was
R.I.P. to
humongous.
everyone who put a fucking ticket on him to win the World Series.
I mean, just
And
within
to
like
be
two
honest,
weeks of getting the Juan Soto trade.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
even with Juan Soto, and if Tatis was healthy and playing, I still don't think they would win a fucking World Series. That's just me.
Yeah,
I
a
think
series against the Dodgers, that's so
yeah, I think the
tough. I don't know.
Dodgers, Yankees, Astros are still the top fucking three teams right there. Yeah, anybody can go on a fucking run. They could get hot, but just looking at just the top three favorites in the league right now, it's them and nobody's fucking close. But
Their pitching besides Musgrove hasn't been as consistent as the other
yeah,
teams that you
yeah.
just mentioned. So yeah, that's just basically all it is. I mean, the Yankees have been on their little struggle right now. Only the Tigers have a worse record since the All Star break are the Yankees right now. So I mean, they're on a bit of a
Wow.
struggle. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Fucking, that's a big one. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I do like. I don't know if you heard what everyone and their fucking mama has an opinion with the Tatis, the PED suspension. I love what his teammate Mike Clevenger came out and said. Obviously, we know Tatis has passed multiple injuries, broke his wrist, fractured his wrist riding his motorcycle in the off season, and then like 2 weeks after he was caught like playing like at the stadium playing soccer, like falling on his fractured wrist.
yeah.
I remember that video was out, and all the bullshit and lies that he's been through with the organization and how his injury happened and hiding the injury and not telling them exactly what happened, whatever. I like that, Mike Clevenger, veteran pitcher on that team. I've always liked Clevenger, even when he was back on the fucking Indians. I can say that because he was on the Indians when they were called the Indians. Uh, I like that he came out and he basically said, listen, we were expecting, to have this guy for a playoff run. That's very disappointing. This isn't the first time that he's done something like this. And I think it's time for him to grow up and time for him to mature. And he's exactly right. So, everybody can sit here and, oh, sorry, poor him, blah, blah, cheater, this, that. I like that his actual teammates are publicly saying, hey, it's time to grow up. Hey, it's time to hold yourself accountable for this shit because this isn't the first time he's got caught doing some sketchy shit now. So,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, when they asked him, they're like, "Oh, like what happened to your wrist? Like what happened to what happened to the crash?" And when he goes, "Which one?" Like that, yeah, that
yeah,
kind of raises a
yeah.
lot of questions. This should raise a lot of eyebrows, and that was gonna be my point. Is this that's just gonna be the question to this whole thing. Is this gonna be just a little splotch on his record as he goes? He's only 24, 25 years old. This is gonna be a long career, or is this gonna be maybe where they start to where they start to question his character? Is this going to be the tipping point? Is this the whatever the needle that fucking
Yeah, the straw
yeah
that broke the
yeah
camel's
exactly
back.
yeah that's
Yeah.
exactly I'm using too many fucking cliche words today, so It's hard to fucking think of them, but it's just like at a certain point, exactly that. When does he grow up? Did you question whether he is all about winning or if he's just all in on it or if he's just a little bit of a shithead trying to just live out some sort of little
Yeah.
dream? So
Well,
I mean, I'm not sitting here. I don't really know that. I don't want to speculate anything too yet. Obviously, this is going to be where you again where we sit here and say like that was where we should have saw him being a shithead. If this continues, that's just a
yeah,
big
like
if.
3, 4 years from now, when Tatis is fucking selling hot dogs or something, and we'll be like, well, that's where it all went wrong.
Yeah,
Went wrong
exactly.
on episode
Exactly.
on episode 117 of the Degenerates podcast. That's where
Exactly.
everything went wrong for him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. It could,
We'll
yeah.
see. He's young. He's young and dumb, and I don't need to finish the rest of that fucking saying. You all know it. Uh yeah, he's 23. I hope he fucking figures shit out because when he plays, he's fucking electric, one of the best in the game. And you don't want to see like I always go back to one of my favorite lines in movie history going and watching a Bronx Tale. There's nothing worse in life than wasted potential, wasted talent. And that's exactly what it would be if he just keeps acting like a fucking asshole like this. It doesn't matter how good you are. Teams aren't going to put up with that shit. They're not going to pay you big money. They're not going to take risks on you when you're, falling off motorcycles, getting busted for illegal, substances, whatever it may be, beating your wife, Antonio Brown running out of the stadium. We'll talk about him in a
Yeah.
little bit. It don't matter how fucking good you are. You're a professional athlete. You got to handle yourself a little fucking better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just basically where it lies comes down to. And again, this could be either where we start and say this was the turning point, or this was just a splotch and this becomes nothing of it. He continues to have maybe not 40, 50 home run seasons, but maybe because if he is not taking a substance, maybe he's getting like 30 home runs and 90 and 100 or something like that. Just being as long as he maybe maintains consistency, then we'll be like, okay, there was nothing to begin with. There's nothing to even worry about. It'll all be forgotten in this day and age where everything all of a sudden just means nothing. So yeah, exactly. This all comes with time. Time can heal all wounds, or this is again, he can make he'll make of it exactly what it is. So we'll figure it out with the time being, I guess. I mean, that's
Time
time will
heals
tell.
all things
Time will
except for
tell.
these crazy eyes.
Mm.
Oh, Mr. Deeds, I gotta go back and watch that
Oh,
movie. I wasn't
gee
talking to
whiz.
you. I was talking to that squirrel over there. It's a fucking mountain goat or billy goat, whatever the fuck it is. Oh, that's one of my favorite scenes in movie history.
Oh,
That's
gee
right up there
whiz.
with the fucking Battle of Mustafar. But anyway, um, what other fucking baseball we got before we
I
hop
think
into the fucking meat and
that's it.
potatoes?
That's all I had on baseball for this week. I mean, I'm sure there's probably more. I mean, you obviously tune into your favorite team, and you can just probably. I mean, we can maybe chime in about the wild card. It's gonna be absolutely nuts in the AL. It's like an 8 game race. It's everywhere all at once. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be really tight everywhere right now. That's about it off the top of my head. But
That's
there's no
what
like
she said.
story. Thank you. Other than that, if we want to just push forward and click her on through, we got an NFC North breakdown to get. The North, the North, the North. NFC North breakdown. Brought to you by PointsBet. PointsBet. Use that code SYS9. You'll get 2 free bets worth or up to $2,000. You get all that. It benefits you and helps us out a little bit over here at the DAAAGenerates podcast. Make sure you're 21 years or older and make sure you're in the states of Illinois, New Jersey, or Iowa. You have a gambling
And
problem.
now New York. Just found that out the
Hey,
other day. And now New York.
yeah. Well, as of right now, like I said, our code is SYS9. As you know, Roy Ritchie hasn't gotten back to us if it's changed. But I mean, again, with the sayings, no news is good news. So keep using that code SYS9. And what else was I going to say? 1-800-GAMBLER if you have any issues. Without further ado, NFC North. We got the Packers. We got the Bears. We got the Vikings. We got the Lions. How do we want to start? Where do we want to start? Who do we want to start with? I think the
I'm
obvious
thinking
answer
I'm
is
thinking we either start or end with the Bears. I'll let you choose.
we got to start with the
Want
Bears. I mean,
to start with the Bears?
yeah, we got to start with the
Let's do
Bears. I
it.
mean, we
I'm
just,
fine with
yeah.
that.
I mean, it is you got to. I mean, you got to do it. So I mean, probably the usual. I'll just kind of set up with our, with the
Yeah.
questions and stuff that I had. We'll be doing our usual breakdown of questions, maybe the headlines of what their season's going to look like, largest ad drops of the season, MVP odds on one of the bigger names of somebody on the team, division winner, make or miss the playoffs, team totals, props, anything we like from there, so on and so forth. Without further ado, like I said, Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions. In my mind, we kind of got a little bit of a preview on Sunday, and we can maybe mix in our preseason talk right now with this little bit of a breakdown. But uh, this season is all going to be about how Fields progresses, how he looks, what he can do. I don't feel with how bad the offensive line looked on preseason. I'm not gonna blame him if there is really any fault, just because he's not going to have a lot of time. He doesn't have a lot of weapons right now. So as long as the mistakes that he does make, interception wise, fumbles, if I can look at those plays and say that wasn't his fault for X and X, there's probably going to be a lot. I hope there's a lot of that. I hope there's not a lot of fuck, what are you doing again, Fields? There shouldn't be a lot of that. I feel like he's big enough, he's strong enough to hold on to the ball. He's going to be smart enough second year. And just another year with Mooney. So again, that would be my other question, my other follow up. How is Mooney going to progress during the year? A lot of hype, a lot of talk from Bears fans, Bears podcasts and stuff like that. I personally, I like him. I like his athleticism. He can probably do really, really well. He's not a wide receiver one. He's definitely, I mean, just it's not how it is. He can be. We'll see. Hopefully, he makes me eat my words for lunch and dinner. I don't care. Hopefully, that does. Now, I'll accept that. But don't see him as a wide receiver one, which pushes me to another guy. Can we finally see Cole Kmet be, not a top? He's not going to be George Kittle. He's not going to be fucking Travis Kelsey. Hopefully he's just a mid-tier guy where you're just like, oh, he's better than TJ Hawkinson, he's better than Dawson Knox. I'm going to rely on him more than those guys or something like that. I want to see Komet being used and used well. Maybe, I don't know, have a game where he's like 10 receptions for fucking 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, something ridiculous. I don't know. He's a big guy that can figure it out. Right now, like we already said, we already talked about the Roquan discussion. If you want to listen to all that, not really much has changed other than the fact that, Ryan Poles has been very, very transparent on trying to get him in. Quote, putting in those quotes about record breaking things on his contract, like again, so on and so forth. Hopefully we can get him back. My idea, like I said, seeing him on TV on the sideline, that was pretty promising. I don't know about you. I'll let you talk about that when you get to it. But in my mind, him being there and not making a big fuss, like not being there or whatever, that was promising to me, making it more realizing that that he might, make more or less, it's going to be easier to make a deal. So like I said, we'll get there. Another question. Can Monty stay healthy? Will we see a lot of Khalil Herbert? I feel as though Monty, if he stays healthy, he's going to be an absolute fucking dog. He's going to be an absolute dog, probably get at least 1,000 yards on the year if he stays completely healthy. If not, I think Khalil Herbert, he can sneak in there and get a lot more touches than maybe he should. So he maybe some spurts of greatness. I don't know. He had that 100-yard game last year. I don't. Again, it's possible. It's not. You can be a very decent running back in this league. It's not out of the range like that. So I don't know. One couple more things really quick. Just how are we gonna grade Ryan Poles year one? What are your expectations basically? And then just is it gonna lead up to your, like I said, lead up to your oh my goodness, your expectation as a fan. Sorry. So that was basically my big question. I've been talking for a fat minute, so before I get into anything like ad drops and shit like that, what's your preview? What are you thinking?
Dude, I don't know where to start with this team.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
Preview.
this won't be our full Bears breakdown. I'm sure the week before actual regular season we'll do a full in-depth 40-minute, 50-minute dive in on the Bears, but like that's just like my opening thoughts on them right now. I feel like that's what we probably should do.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see good play out of Justin Fields this year. I want to see consistent play out of him. And you know, the other day after the game, or maybe it was either during the preseason game, like on the sideline, or right after it. He did an interview with not Adam Amin. That's the dude Kyle was roasting on Twitter. Some other guy from ESPN 1000. They sat down, they did a little one-on-one interview, and something that I really liked that Justin Fields said was, and this isn't exactly what he said, but this year he's focusing more on getting singles and doubles than he is hitting home runs in terms of baseball. It's
I like
exactly what he
that.
said.
I like
And
that.
he said, you know, we're just playing, we're flowing, we're going with the flow, and we're just taking what the defense gives us. That's smart. That's what you want to see out of a young quarterback who, like you said, isn't going to have a good offensive line, isn't going to have the most weapons. You know, it's nice to see the big fucking 30, 40, 50-yard play down the field.
Kind of got
But
that in the preseason game, and we also just kind of got what you just said. We in the opening play, a full on blitz was coming, and what does he do? Basically a little check down to an open tight end
yeah,
for 2 or 3
yeah,
yards. Was it a home run? No, you got yardage. That's what you need.
yeah. And that's what I want to see. As sad as that sounds, like Bills fans and Chiefs fans are probably listening to this right now. Oh, fucking 2, 3 yards. You guys suck. Yeah, we know,
You
but
know
you
what?
know, it's better
Honestly,
than
the Packers, I'm going to talk about it in my little breakdown of the Packers. They might be having to do the same thing. They're not going to have the same heavy hitter. That's just me thinking right now. But go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. I just want to see Justin Fields play well. Um I have high hopes for Komet this year. I think this could be a very big year for him. And I like the comparisons you drew to TJ Hawkinson. He's a big guy, big frame, huge wingspan, great hands. Not the most agile, but he gets open and he knows how to high point that ball. Saw a couple times last year, I think in the Panthers game, he made a really big touchdown catch in like triple coverage. Um, so there's been little spots for him where he's shown that he has potential. I agree with Darnell Mooney. He's not a number one wide receiver, but I still think he's going to have a great year. I think the Bears are going to throw a lot. Him and Fields already have the chemistry. You've seen it last year. You see it in the preseason. You see it in training camp footage all the time. Um, and I think, you know, last year Mooney went over 1,000 yards on 80 something catches, and I think he can easily do that again this year. So, um, when it comes to the running backs, Monty, you know, Khalil Herbert, yeah, both of them are expendable. Both of them can, you know, fuck. Last year Monty got hurt. Khalil Herbert filled right in, no problem. Had 200-yard games, and one of them, I think, against the Buccaneers too. So impressive there. But I like the versatility we get out of Monty. He's a shifty guy. He can catch the ball. He can lower his shoulder. He can run you over. He can juke you out. And he's even a pretty decent little blocking running back too. So I hope he stays healthy. I'm a big fan of him, especially going to Iowa State. You know, I like to say I'm an Iowa State casual fan, so I'm always going to root for the Cyclones and all their alumni. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a rough year. Uh, to put a fucking I don't know, to put a number on this team, looking at their schedule, I think there are a lot of winnable games, but there's just the question marks on the Bears just outweighs, you know, the Falcons, the Giants, the Jets, the Lions, the bad teams that we do play. It's like, okay, we're playing bad teams, but we're a fucking bad team too. So, um, I don't know what the line is. I don't have it pulled up in front of me right now.
6.5.
6.5. Yeah, I think they might get six. Like, I think they could get 6 wins. Uh, I don't know. Texans, like, I'm excited because you know home game, Texans. I'm actually going to the game.
Oh, sick.
It's going to be Lovie Smith's return to Chicago. Everyone likes to sit here and say, "Oh, they're the Texans. That's an easy win," but I guarantee Texans fans are sitting there looking at that game September 25th, 28th, whatever day it is, and they're saying the same exact thing. Oh, we're playing the Bears. That's an easy win.
Yeah, no, that's a good
So
point.
I'm in terms.
Yeah, the
I'm in the
five
same.
diehard Texans fans that are all Howard come together at the bar. The only five that actually exist. Like, oh, we got this one. We're gonna go 11-5 this year. We got this shit.
Yeah, right. So I'm excited. I'm excited to we get a new regime in there. We got our young quarterback, couple of young pieces to work with. I love the two guys I want to talk about on the defensive side of the ball. One of them being Jack Sanborn, a 22-year-old linebacker out of Wisconsin, actually won Big Ten Player of the Year last year. Undrafted, gets picked up by the Bears and actually has a very good game against the Chiefs over the weekend. Had 7 tackles, interception, a fumble recovery. He had a fucking hell of a game playing there, and with the question marks around Roquan, is he going to play? Is he going to stay? Is he going to get traded? Is he going to sit out? Into the regular season? Who knows? I mean, this Jack Sanborn guy comes out of nowhere, has a great performance like that. I sort of hope he sticks around too. He could be one of those little Cinderella stories. Jack Sanborn, like I said, went to Wisconsin. He grew up a Bears fan. He actually he lived in Orland Park, Highland Park, something with a park there here in Illinois. So he grew up he grew up around here. He's gonna have that extra motivation playing with his hometown team, being that undrafted linebacker for the Bears with the history that comes with that at that position. I think there's something there. There's like a little seed. Give it a little fucking water, and that seed could turn into the fucking the beanstalk. I don't know what I'm saying, but Jack Sanborn looked good in his first preseason game, and then the Bears' second round pick this previous year, Jaquan Brisker, safety out of Penn State. He had an amazing game. He had 4 tackles, a couple batted balls. One of them he almost intercepted. A couple tackles for loss. He played great at that strong safety position. So we've sort of had a rotating door of strong safeties ever since Adrian Amos, fucking traitor, left us for the Packers. And it looks like the Bears might have found their new day one starter at the strong safety position. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see Sanborn, and I'm excited to hopefully watch Justin Fields progress into the quarterback we all hope he is, and the quarterback we've never had. So
Yeah.
6 wins, 7 wins, 17 wins. I don't fucking know. It's just gonna
A
it's
perfect
gonna
20-0.
it's gonna be a tough fucking year for Bears fans, man.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, especially when our biggest acquisition, N'Keal Harry, is out. He's gonna be out on the year. He had season-ending ankle surgery. Byron Pringle, we'll see if that happens, if he's not in jail. And we actually added. Did you hear this? Did you see this guy? We added Lamar Jackson. We have Lamar Jackson on our
Oh,
team.
I did see that.
Unfortunately, he's a defensive back, Lamar Jackson, and he's missing tackles, and that's not too good. But a lot of huge drops, a lot of huge names. I missed out on probably a couple offensive linemen. If you always keep up on the fat boys. Obviously Kyle's number 1 running back, Tariq Cohen, he's gone. He bullied him out of the city. Eddie Goldman gone. Denny Trevathan also gone. Allen
Aaron
Robinson,
Hicks fucking gone.
Aaron Hicks, Nick Foles, and
And the
then
one thing I forgot to totally mention, I at some point I completely expect Robert Quinn to get traded too. I mean, there's no
oh
point in
shit,
leaving this guy on the fucking team. Get something for him. I mean, he just
yeah,
broke Richard Dent's single season sack record last year. So try and get something out of him on. I think this is his last year of his contract too.
yeah.
So no reason to keep him around.
Hopefully he can make some big move on that, actually get something in return. And then, yeah, obviously the biggest drop, the biggest name was Khalil Mack leaving as well. And then Pat O'Donnell, our punter, gone. He's gonna be on the Packers. Who I hope we see a ton of Pat O'Donnell on the season for the Packers. Hopefully he's punting a lot of 3-and-outs for them. So go Pat O'Donnell. Hopefully you punt a lot of balls this year. But yeah, like I said, not looking very good on either end. A lot of big names gone. Not a lot of key guys added. So like I said, not a lot of help coming in. Uh, Looking more on the Bears, like you said, yeah, looking towards their team total. I count 6, and that's and if for the sake of just having faith, trying to have fun with this, I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna stay positive, and if the optimistic Nick says 7 wins plus 150 on points bet, we'll take a look here. Like you said, week 3, the Texans. That's a toss up, but you do get them at home. That could be a disgusting like 19-15 game or something like that. Then we go into New York against the Giants. Giants are gonna be fucking putrid this year. I mean, I'm not gonna fall into that trap of betting on a team to go 0-17, but the Giants can go 0-17 this year. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I'm giving us the win against the Commanders. I'm giving us the win against. I believe I gave us the win against the Patriots. I think that's already 4. But for the sake of it, like I said, Texans, Giants, Commanders. One of the games against the Lions, the Falcons, and the Jets. That's 6. If you give us one game against the Vikings, that's another one. That's 7, and then that's me only counting one win against the Lions, who might steal one against at home, like week 16 or 17 or whatever it is. So I don't know. It's definitely possible to get 7 and get this over. It's gonna be if everything gonna need to go right. Honestly, like I said, and that like I said,
Yeah,
gonna need
yeah.
to get one, gonna need to sneak one against the Vikings. But I mean, those are all winnable games against the Titans, the Giants, the Commanders, the Lions, the Falcons, and the Jets. So like I said, it's all right there. It's entirely possible, and I'm calling it right now. The Bears will cover against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to be so fucking bad. I don't know what. I don't know. I have a feeling I don't trust Mike McCarthy. It's plus 6. It's 6.5 right now. They're giving him a touchdown. A touchdown. Give me Bears plus 6.5 right fucking now. That's it right there on their team total. Uh, to make or miss the playoffs, plus 400 to make it. I wouldn't take that. No, minus 550. That's a juice bag. I have 2 props on the Bears, and like I said, maybe you can dive in. You kind of already dived in on the team total, but like I said, if you had any props, I got Mooney over 995, or excuse me, basically over 1,000 yards receiving, and parlayed with Fields over 3.5 rushing touchdowns. That's plus 250. Kind of like that. If I need to like make one for the Bears, I'm gonna be wary on this one. So be aware, be cautious. It's possible. This is possible if Montgomery stays healthy. This one's entirely possible. Like I said, over 900.5 rushing yards. So just needs 901 rushing yards and over 7.5 rushing touchdowns. Plus 290. That's as long as he stays out of injury, nothing wrong with him all year. I think that's completely obtainable. So
Yeah.
those are my props. Those are my things to know on them. And I mean, obviously they're not going to win the division, but PointsBet has the Bears last to win the division. They have them they have them behind the Lions at plus 1,600. So yeah, it's basically get on the Bears. Otherwise, you got plus 8,000 for Justin Fields to win MVP odds. I don't know why.
Hammer it.
Yep, you can do that. If you had obviously, like I said, we'll do a complete fucking 360, 100% deep dive on the Bears once preseason's completely over. Once we're barreling down, buckling in for week 1, I'm pretty sure, like I said, we'll have a complete full in deep dive on them. But I mean, that's gonna be what it is. Obviously, we're just gonna be chomping at the bit, hoping to get these 6 or 7 wins. When I don't know, that's basically the ceiling. Is those 6 or 7 wins, and the floor
Yeah.
could be 4
Yeah, I know.
wins,
See,
3 wins. I mean, it's
I'm looking I really want to take the 7, and I know the Giants are gonna suck, the Jets are gonna suck, Falcons are gonna suck. Unfortunate thing is all 3 of those games are on the road.
Yeah.
Good thing is it looks like they're all on Fox. You know the Bears play good when they're on Fox. No
Mm.
fucking noon CBS games. That's bullshit. Commanders Thursday night. That's a home game. I agree. That's a win. So you know what? I like your optimism. I always like to see the glass half full too. So I'll ride with you
I
with the
mean, it
over
just makes
six
it
and a
way
half.
more fun. Makes it way more
Exactly.
fun. You get actually, hoping for wins and shit. Like, hey, yeah, positive, go bear. Exactly. I'm not gonna be. I'm obviously not gonna be sitting here upset that they aren't gonna be in the playoffs, that they aren't winning in and out every single week, that they aren't upsetting the Packers, that they aren't upsetting the Vikings week in and week out. But if they stay competitive in those games, if they show spurts of exactly what we said, just progression, getting better, going from week 1 to being, damn, we have no idea what this team is going to be, to week 17 to like, this is okay. This is a pretty good season. It'll be all right. And this is going to be, we're going to be looking pretty good going into next season. That's fine
Yeah.
with me. And at the bare minimum, if it's, bear, we're going to
Bear.
be, we're going to be a wild card spot, which is completely, that's like, oof, that
That's a
is like,
big
that's a big fucking
bruh.
reach. It's huge. I almost broke my arm reaching so far on that one, but that's it's not. No, I'm not even gonna make that point. There's no reason to. It's not possible. So that's like where it's at. I don't know. That's the Bears. That's the Bears. If we want to go and
Yeah.
looking, like I said,
So
we'll preview
I
more.
got three. I got three little prop bets. First one, yeah, I'll take the over 6.5 for the wins. I think they can fucking sneak out 7 games. One is, very similar to the one you were talking about. David Montgomery over 825 and a half rushing yards on the year. I think that you play 17 games, even if he plays 16, 15 games, I still think 825 yards is very doable for Monty. So I really like that one. I'm going to take that at minus 102. And a nice little fun one. Just going to sprinkle some money on Jaquan Brisker. Jaquan Brisker, rookie safety out of Penn State, to win the defensive rookie of the year, not player of the year, defensive rookie of the year at plus 4,000. It'll be
That's
tough.
a fun play. Yeah, I
Exactly.
like
It'll be
that.
tough with Aiden Hutchinson, Clavon Thibodeau, whatever his name is. It'll be tough. But we seen it last year with the fucking ass clown from the Cowboys. Gets 11 interceptions. Everybody thinks he's the fucking next Darrell Revis. He sucks ass. Diggs, he sucks cock. Maybe a couple balls land in Brisker's hands. He returns a couple of them to a tree for a touchdown. Uh, he's very aggressive. He's very aggressive in the run game. So we'll see some tackles for losses. We might even see a couple sacks out of him on play actions. And at plus 4,000, like you said, it's a fun one. So I'm going to take him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Exactly. And one of those futures you have all year to just bank on it. You might, then that's not one where it's like, oh, week 1, that's out. I completely out of it already. Like I was like with my 0 and 17, but it's just like, that's just like, so it could be a big old spurt, something to look forward to all year. Great one. I like that. Do you have any more before we move on to the next team?
No, that is it.
All righty.
That is it for the Bears for now, Jim.
Yes, for now. So hold it on put that on hold, obviously, for the Bears. More to come, obviously. Who do we want to do next? We got Packers, Vikings, Lions. Who do we want?
Let's talk some Lions. Fuck it, let's talk some
Ooh,
Lions.
fun, fun, fun.
We could even mix in a little fucking
Hard knocks
hard
talk.
cocks. Hard
Oh
cocks.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was so. I mean, I don't know if we already saw it. I don't know if we already said it. The Hard Knocks episode, that might have been the best one in years. This
Yeah.
completely revamped this series. It made me so excited. It's back on tonight. I don't know if I'll catch it on live, or I'll record it, or if it's up on HBO Max right away. But I can't wait. That opening thing with Dan Campbell talking about Metallica, that got me fucking pumped.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel as though we're getting like a raw, authentic Dan Campbell. I feel like in other past Hard Knocks, we were getting like, you're getting like Mike McCarthy. You're getting I don't even know the Texans guy, the Brian, whatever Brian. I don't even know. I don't remember these guys. I feel like they were all putting on a front. Like when they had the Bengals Hard Knocks, like that guy was putting. They were putting on a front. He's gonna be raw and authentic. Dan Campbell's gonna fucking bite your kneecaps off for sure. And honestly, the entire feeling of that episode, it made me feel like they were gonna go 17-0. So give me the over on the Lions. No, don't do that at all. I'm not marking that down. But I mean, yeah, they got Dan Campbell like coach of the year. I think he's the favorite for sure. I don't know if this Hard Knocks is gonna be maybe hyping players up more than they should be. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe more people are going to draft DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown higher than they should or something like that in fantasy league. We'll see how that goes. Or maybe it just proves to people that, these 3 or 4 episodes is going to be like, oh, maybe DeAndre Swift to somebody like me who doesn't understand why they're being drafted so high in fantasy leagues. Like, oh, that's why he's doing really well. He's the guy. But from my understanding, it's going to be almost like a 50-50 split, so on and so forth, whatever. I mean, yeah, like I said, just give you a fucking minute on it. Just my questions on the Lions team, besides just is this Hard Knocks going to give them a big fucking kick in the pants, but just like DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, who's their newest draft pick. Are they going to progress to do well? How's Aiden Hutchinson's mom going to do? She was a fucking smoke show, so that would be pretty cool if they got more shots of her.
How's that
But
marriage going? If
yeah,
you
how's
need
that
to talk
going?
to,
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, definitely, like I said, just fucking this is gonna be fun. Well, I mean, the Hard Knocks episode, like I said, in general, was great. I'll dive deep on it a little, like I said, but just give your opening thoughts on the Lions, Hard Knocks, whatever it is, whatever you're feeling on them.
So, talking about the Hard Knocks episodes to start it off, the first episode to start it off. Yeah, that opening fucking scene, Dan Campbell giving that speech, pumping everybody up. That got me fucking pumped up. Just the fact that they do that speech, he goes out to practice and he starts doing up downs with his team.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
so
after after
hardcore.
say, after saying that he like sprained his wrist or like
Yeah.
fractured his wrist or something like that at home, like falling over a dog fence at home. Like that dude is a fucking gangster, and you hit it, you said it perfectly. He feels so authentic, like he's not faking anything. Um, that's who he is. That's who he was during his playing career, and he just transferred that over to you know, uh, his coaching career earlier being, I think he was a tight ends coach, being a coordinator, and now head coach with the
Yeah,
Lions.
something
So
like working with Miami and then becoming the interim head coach. And then I think he said Sean Payton called him the day after the season ended, said, come on down, get an internship, slowly just like, hey, do you want to stick around for this? Stick around for the whole season, stick around for this. And sure enough, he became fucking assistant coach there. So I mean, they did such a good job of I mean, showing him breaking down his own career, but just introducing him, showing like giving him his credentials, getting like if you were an outsider looking in, if you weren't like an NFL fan like ourselves, if you don't keep up with football, you would just sit there and think like, okay, this guy has some credibility. He's been around, he knows top guys. I mean, obviously Sean Payton's been there. He's won a Super Bowl already, so he's got credibility right there. If you're learning from a guy like that, that's awesome. I didn't even know that. So that automatically made me think like, all right, if given some talent, given some opportunity, Dan Campbell on an actually good fucking team could definitely have a Super Bowl caliber team. That's just like in my mind, that's where it's at. But like overall, like I said, they introduced him so well. They introduced the entire staff so great. Just like, oh, this would have been my 18th this will be my 18th training camp. This is my 24th training camp. This is my fucking 16th training camp. They go through all the guys. They highlight everybody. And they, like I said, these were all glue guys on these teams. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but the quarterback for the Jags in the early 2000s, running back
yeah,
for the
Mark
Phillies. Yeah.
Brunell.
Yeah, running back for the Eagles, like mid 2000s. Like I said, just glue guys that were not on the best of teams, not on winning teams necessarily. A couple of them were. One of them has oh my god, a World Series. One of them has a Super Bowl. But like I said, mostly glue guys that put up production numbers on not so good teams. So I mean, this was great introducing them. The HBO guys do such a good time of doing that. I just don't know who they're gonna like highlight because they did it, God, such a fall from grace. Like watching, I don't remember if you remember, he was on the Jared Goff on the LA Rams Hard Knocks and just basically not being highlighted at all in this first episode being the quarterback. I almost forgot that. I'm like, wait, who's their QB? It's Jared Goff. What? He's still there? I was like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, so he's there. I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna make like the big guy to like highlight. I guess it might be DeAndre Swift. He
I
made that
think it
big
might be.
speech. Yeah.
I think it. I think it might be the one scene where Aiden Hutchinson was in the tub with that offensive lineman from
Oh, okay.
Kentucky or Memphis or wherever he went to
Yeah.
college. It
Yeah.
might be that because he was undrafted. And I
Okay.
guess he's like fighting for a
Yeah,
roster spot now.
they'll
He
usually do
might be
that.
him.
Yeah, they'll
It
get
might
like
be that dude.
like episode 4, he'll be like with his wife or girlfriend, and then they're like, is it gonna be the call where I get cut or I get accepted? And it'll be like, hey, just want to let you know you're on the team. Oh my god. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll probably get one of those. Excuse me, definitely by the 4th episode. I'm just wondering who it's gonna be. And like I said, I don't know if this hype is gonna add more to their wins, add more to anything. To me, it doesn't really do too much. And I hope, and like I said, in terms of fantasy, I hope it makes boost some people, but I don't know. In some of the leagues I'm in, it might not even matter. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if you had any more opening thoughts on them. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off.
Going more back into the actual team and the Lions themselves. You mentioned a couple names, Aiden Hutchinson, first overall pick, first round pick for the Lions. I think he's legit. They fucking highlighted him a lot that first episode, showed his little Billie Jean dance, showed him with his family, the
Oh,
scene
that
in the
was great.
fucking the scene in the little cold tub, the scene where he gets checked by TJ Hawkinson, where it was sort of like a welcome to the fucking league rookie, and he just blindsided the shit out of him. That
Yeah, and then
I
they asked
remember,
Dan Campbell about that too. Yeah, that
yeah.
was good.
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he said he like deserved it, or that's what
He's like,
he's a
hopefully
rookie.
there's
Yeah.
that one and maybe one more, and then that's it. Like that should be it. Like it's just like
Yeah.
that's just how it's gonna be.
He's like, he's that good. He's just gonna pick up on that, and it won't happen again.
Yeah.
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 So, uh, I like this Lions team simply for the fact that they're gonna come together and they're gonna rally around that fucking coach. They're gonna rally. You know, they're gonna play for each other. And I know there's a lot of teams out there that they might rely on their skill and that'll win them games, and that's all fine and dandy. But when you don't have that stuff, when you don't have a big name quarterback, when you don't have the flashy wide receiver or the running back or all those specialty positions, you need to sort of rely on, like you said, even with the coaches, your glue guys on this team, your fucking your Penei Sewells, your fucking offensive tackle from last year, who's one of the best tackles in the league now. You're Amon-Ra St. Brown's, who I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, this might sound fucking insane, but I think he could be a fucking top 20, top 15 fantasy wide receiver in football this
He has
year.
potential. He needs a better
It's crazy.
quarterback, but
Exactly.
he's got the
He don't
potential.
need shit. He don't need shit. I fucking it don't. I think
Okay, it would help,
bad
but
receiver.
yeah.
You're right. You're right. But bad receivers put up numbers every year
Yeah. No,
with
very
it
true.
don't
Very
matter
true.
who's fucking
I
throwing to.
stand
I mean,
corrected. You're right. No, you're right.
The Lions are going to be losing every game they're in anyway, so they're going to have to throw it to someone. I
Very
mean
true.
Calvin Johnson. Oh no, Calvin Johnson had Stafford, I guess. So I don't even remember where I was going with this. I think the Lions are going to surprise some people this year. What does PointsBet have their line at right now
So
for
they
win?
are also at 6.5, I
I
believe. Let me just be completely certain. Yeah, I have six and
I
a half
would
right
take that
now.
over too.
You
I
have
would take that
over.
over. Yeah, I
I
would.
have under at plus 115. I mean, like I said, I don't get the high. I might just be too much hype around them, but virtually they're exactly the same team. Even with adding Hutchinson, I mean, they didn't do anything else to their defense. Jared Goff is still leading the way. I'm counting 5, maybe 6 wins, but legit, I don't see any more after that. They could spoil. They could be the only thing that gets them over the hump. Kind of like I said, if you were like the optimistic Lions fan, just like I was the optimistic Bears fan like 20 minutes ago, it could be in the same realm, but I don't see it that way. I
Yeah.
mean, like I
See,
said,
I think looking at it,
a split with the Bears. You're on the road against the Giants, a toss up against the Jags, who that could be. You either see really a big stretch, a big improvement from Trevor Lawrence and stuff like that, better from their defense. I also see a toss up against the Panthers. Baker Mayfield could figure it out, and a toss up against the Jets, honestly, because they're in New York again. So I don't know. That's even against like you just said against the Bears, these toss up games, these winnable games, most of them are on the road. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one.
yeah, 6.5. That's a pretty fucking perfect line for this team
Yeah,
and their fucking
absolutely.
schedule. It's tough to go either way on that one. But I like the Lions this year. I think I probably am buying into the hype a little bit, just given, Dan Campbell, the character he is, the Hard Knocks series, all this shit. I do think Aiden Hutchinson, he has potential to not only win Rookie of the Year, I think he might win fucking Defensive Player of the Year. I think he could be that good.
I think he
Um,
is. Is he gonna be? Well, he can he be the Nick Bosa esque guy where if it's literally just one guy is gonna make a big enough impact to maybe win a game? Is that gonna be the big enough factor? Is he gonna be the reason whether or not they beat the Giants because they get a game winning sack or something like that?
yeah,
That's the toss up right there. That's where the X factor of Aiden Hutchinson can be, but it could also be I don't know, the overall play of the everybody else could just fuck everybody over. So I'm sure that they can get sneaky wins because they're probably going to be in the same realm. Like, oh, they might play down to their competition because like, oh, it's just the Lions this week. I don't need to throw for 250. I don't need to throw for 350 yards today. I can take it easy. I'm sure, like I said, you're going to get the Lions are going to have their full 100%, 150% effort every single time because Dan Campbell won't let anybody onto the field that isn't doing that. So you're going to get that every single time with them. Just so it's just a matter of will the opponent live up to will they just not play down to the Lions is going to be the equation.
yeah,
And
that's a good
I
point.
feel as though that it could be exactly that. It could be just the hype of like a Hard Knocks or something like that. Like, oh, people are getting a deep dive, like how crazy Dan Campbell is. All right, maybe we do have to take them just a little bit seriously and pound them fucking 30-0 or something like that, 30-14, 40-10, something. Just they're gonna have to do something because like I said, yeah, this isn't a crazy team where they're gonna get 8-9 wins and be fit a 500 team. Don't see it. It's not possible. They didn't get it. They didn't add anybody. They didn't any crazy ad drops. Their biggest ads was Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Chark, and Devin Funches. Otherwise, like I said, their biggest drops of Trey Flowers. Like they didn't do anything. They haven't done anything. So I don't know. I don't know how they're third in possible odds to win the division or whatever over the Bears. It is what it is. For me, that's the Lions. I have no props on them either. I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any props either. I was thinking about taking
I mean, talking about
Aiden.
it now, you talking about it now, maybe Monter St. Brown over on his yardage, but I would have to look at the number. I honestly don't know that off the top of my head.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Sacks for Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, okay.
They don't have a line on it.
Ooh.
So
If it's
that
around
pissed
10 and
me
a
off.
half, maybe. But I don't even know what the number would be. Maybe like 7.5. I'll take the over at like 7.5. But like, I don't know. I have to like deep. If there's no number in front of my face, I wouldn't even know. Honestly,
Yeah, maybe whatever the fucking odds are on him to win. I'll put some money on obviously on Jaquan Brisker for the Bears, but I mean,
he's probably gonna be the odds-on
defensive
favorite.
rookie of the
Yeah,
year, you got to think he's the favorite. Yeah, and then defensive player of the year, hell, I mean, even sprinkle a couple dollars on that one too. He's got the talent to do it.
yeah, maybe can have a crazy breakout season. Like I said, I don't think I have anything else on them. Jared Goff MVP odds plus 20,000.
Yeah.
Otherwise
I don't know about that one,
to
Jim.
make miss playoffs, yes to make the playoffs plus 310, no to make the playoffs minus 400. Like I said, I have no props on the Lions. Saw a couple of things on Swift and like, like I said, Amon St. Brown and shit like that, but if they're I would have to completely watch the season and see what they're going to do with Swift. If they're going to do a 50-50 carry with him and Williams, but I don't know. Even then, I wouldn't even trust it. We'll see how it goes. Who were you thinking now? We want to do Vikings or Packers?
It don't matter.
I might as well, let's do the Packers. I don't want to leave a bad
Yeah,
taste in my mouth.
I don't want to fucking end with them.
Yeah, that tear. Fuck them. So I mean, I guess the obvious fucking elephant in the room, horse in the room, big fucking animal leaving a void in the room. Yeah, just Devontae Adams is gone. With this, will they be able to clear? I mean, no, excuse me. Will there be a clear wide receiver number one in there, or maybe this turns into the Aaron Jones show? Maybe I feel like he's gonna get a huge production in terms of maybe pass catches, but I mean Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, they're gonna absolutely eat this season. That's gonna be without like no need to even think about that. It's gonna be for sure. Who do you trust? Lazard, Tunyon. After that, I honestly don't even know. Maybe their rookie wide receiver. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but there's already reports that Rodgers is already bitching about his young wide receivers not being consistent already after just one preseason game. They said Jordan Love's interceptions could have been not interceptions if the wide receivers were hustling or whatever. So I don't know. You got guy they just added Sammy Watkins. Maybe he helps them out. Their other key addition I saw was Pat O'Donnell. Hopefully, like I said, already hopefully you see a lot of him. Darius Smith is gone. Devontae Adams was the big guy gone, and still no word on David Bakhtiari. So he's still on the IR, from my understanding. So yeah, what are you feeling on the Vikings? Excuse me, what are you feeling on the Packers? What do you feel about that drug addict, ayahuasca addict, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, well, obviously, first and foremost, deserves to be in jail still.
Yeah.
Probably murdered thousands, millions, with his fake COVID, immunization bullshit, whatever. Um, I still think the Packers, gonna be a good team. They're gonna be a top team in the NFC. Yeah, any team that loses a guy like Devonte Adams, that's gonna suck. But I think I think Aaron Rodgers is good enough to where he'll make the guys around him elevate their play. Uh, I expect a huge year out of Allen Lazard. You've seen the chemistry between them before. Yeah, obviously Adams was always his number one go-to target, but you've seen Allen Lazard make some big plays, some big catches too. I expect the Packers to run the ball a lot more than people are going to anticipate this year. You've seen Dylan come on at the end of the year, make some big plays. I know one big game against the Bears late in the year last year. Aaron Jones, you know, I got my rule when it comes to fantasy. I'll never start a Packer on my team, and it sucks because I got the fucking second and third round picks. There's a couple Packers there, and like my second and third, and my fourth and fifth round picks. There's like a couple Packers there that I want to take, but I can't take them. And Aaron Jones is one of those guys. I still think, even with, uh, even with the emergence of Dylan last year, he's going to be like their goal line guy, their short yardage guy, their go to, pounded in running back. I still think. Aaron Jones is going to have a great year. He's great in the passing game. Aaron Rodgers, you see it all the time. The little fucking screen passes, the little dump offs, just get it in his hands and let him do what he has to do. Um, and without Devonte Adams, you got to spread out those targets and those receptions somewhere. So, uh, if I'm fantasy wise, Packer fans worrying about who's going to catch the ball on this team, uh, you know, the emergence of Dylan is great, but I think it's a plus for Aaron Jones as well. So I don't expect him to have any fucking regression. Defensive side of the ball, they lose a couple guys. I think Zadarius Smith goes to the Vikings, who we'll talk about in a couple minutes. That's a big loss there. But as much as I fucking hate to say it, you got Aaron Rodgers on your team. You're gonna have a great chance to win games. So I think the line right now for them is 10.5 wins.
PointsBet has them at 11.5.
11.5. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I did my research. I mean, I did my reasoning off that number. So 10.5.
Okay, so
That's entirely possible because I have them at 11. I see 11 games. I'll take the under at 11.5. They play some really tough teams. They play the Bills, they play the Rams, they play the Bucks, I believe. I feel, with the departure of Adams, beating a team like those top tier teams, not going to be possible. I mean, it's just not going to, there's not going to, what's going to be the absence of him not being able to make that big play and that key time in that big game. That's going to be very apparent either right away or exactly then in that big moment.
yeah.
I don't know which one. So yeah, obviously big messing thing right there. And like I said, I mentioned it when we were just talking about Bears, how the Bears are going to move the offense. It might be the same way how the Packers move it. Going to be short dink and dunks to quick passes with the occasional, he obviously is going to be able to sling it down there. It's just going to be a matter of if these wide receivers are going to be open and if Aaron Rodgers trusts them to get there. Right now, like I said, he's already kind of bitching and moaning about a couple of these rookie guys. So we'll see how it goes. I feel as though, like I already said, Aaron Jones is going to get a ton of receptions. He's going to get a ton of touches. Dylan, for just the sake of volume, he's going to be getting a lot of rushing attempts as well. Maybe it translates at the goal line. He is the bigger back, but I mean, that might not even matter because the Packers led the league in passing attempts in the red zone. So I mean, when you have like 50 passing attempts in that area, 50 plus, it's like I said, that's going to be ton of opportunities to just get it in there, whether or not they get in there or not. So that's awesome. Whether or not you have Aaron Jones, Tunyon, or AJ Dillon, or whoever emerges as the number one wide receiver, whether that's most likely Lazard, or you got a little bit of maybe you're gonna get a game or two out of Watkins, or they're like I said, they're rookie wide receiver that they just drafted. That's basically how I feel as though they're gonna move the ball. But like I said, looking at 11.5, I don't like that number. I'm going to take the under at minus 145. I'm counting 11. They're going to mollywomp the bad teams. But like I said, the Bills, the Bucks, the Rams, they're really just going to lock them. Those teams are going to lock them down and just torture them with just like an Adamsless Packers. I don't see them getting over the hump of beating those elite teams.
Yeah, I think 10. I got the line over here, 10.5 for FanDuel. You got it 11.5. I agree with you. I think looking at their schedule now, I got them right at 10 wins. I got them right at 10 wins with obviously you just mentioned the big names. Then you also, I think on the road against Miami, that might be a tough game. You got the Eagles mixed in there, Cowboys at home, Eagles on the road. I think that's a Sunday night game. So yeah, a lot of toss up games there. I like the under on both of those, 10.5, 11.5, no matter what sports book you get it on. I agree. I still think they're a playoff team and they'll lose first round like they do every year. But
they're going to control the ball, and that's what's going to happen.
That's what Rodgers has always done.
Yeah, they're going to win these 20-14 games. They're going to win these 28-21 ball games. Like it's entirely possible. It's just going to be a matter of if Aaron Rodgers has the ball at the end of the game, he's probably going to end up winning that ball game. So I don't know. That's not off the table at all by any means. I feel like if it comes down to that, like a 24-24 game, he just needs a field goal. more or less, you're gonna bank on the Packers winning that ball game right
Do
there.
they
So
play the 49ers? They do not play the
they
49ers in the
they do
regular
not.
season.
They do
Okay.
not.
They actually they played them week 1 of the preseason. I was
Yeah.
going to say, bet the 49ers in that one. Robbie Gold does not lose to the fucking Packers.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll
it's
take 10
tough.
wins. I'll take
Yeah.
10 wins for the Packers. They still make the playoffs. Like you said, game management, clock management. I think they're going to run the ball a lot more than people think. Uh, you know, uh, Rodgers is still Rodgers. He's going to manage the game. If he got the ball late in the games, you said it perfectly. He's going to, get it down in field goal range, waste time if they're up, and just win close games like that against those, the Eagles, Commanders, Patriots, teams like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm looking at too. I'm banking them probably splitting or taking both games against the Vikings. They're gonna beat the Bears, probably gonna lose to the Bucks. They'll probably end up beating the Patriots, the Giants, the Jets, the Commanders. Gonna lose to the Bills though. I'm banking on that. Gonna beat the Lions. Kind of a toss up in the Cowboys. You'll know the Cowboys season. You'll probably know probably by week 6 or 7 if they're at all legit. They might be 1-6. They could be 6-1. But yeah, I don't know. That's like I said, that's going to be a toss up right there. They're in Lambeau. That's the only thing. Like that's probably going to be a win for Green Bay. I think I gave the
nah, fucking
Titans.
Buffalo is Green Bay.
Oh no. That
Yeah.
wasn't that game. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was talking about the Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys Packers. I was saying that might be a toss up. I gave him a loss against the Titans. Yeah, probably a loss against the Eagles. That's going to be. It says even right now, but yeah, the Eagles are going to be fighting. They might end up winning their division. Probably not. Yeah, again, another win against the Bears. They lose against the Rams. That Dolphins game, that's a toss up. I don't know. And then yeah, they could probably split against the Vikings, win against the Lions. So I don't know. You do the math. You figure it out who you want. I mean, like I said, I count 11. If you're doing 11 and a half, you want that extra hook, go on points bet. Like I said, it's minus 145 for the under right there. Uh, in terms of props for Packers, I have one, two, I got three. One I like, don't love. One I don't care. One is like a toss up. It's good, okay future, and one I think is pretty good value for only one game that you might have to worry about. So for Aaron Rodgers to have the most passing touchdowns plus 1,000, it might just be one of those things where like, oh, everyone and their mother's banking on him to have a bad year because he doesn't have Adams. It would be completely Rodgers-esque to just be like, all right, fuck you. I'm going to have 54 passing touchdowns and lead the season. So there you go, plus 1,000. He's not the favorite. So there you go. I like that. To go 6-0 in the division, plus 700. The only game I feel like they're going to have to worry about is week 1 on the road against the Vikings. And that's basically the season for the Vikings. And we'll get into that in a minute. And like I said, last one, the one I like but don't love, Aaron Jones over 800.5 rushing yards and AJ Dillon over 5.5 rushing touchdowns. And like I said, they'll probably be a 2-headed monster, 3-headed monster down there, depending on if they mix somebody else in there. But I like that at plus 280. Like I said, Aaron Jones will eat as well as AJ Dillon. They're gonna have a nice little season down there. To win the division, minus 180, not getting a lot of value unless you parlay them with something else. If you don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, plus 350. Otherwise, minus 470, yes to make the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers is the 5th favorite to win the MVP at plus 11,000. It would be his 3rd in a row if you keep that in mind. So yeah, I don't know if you had any props on them. Go ahead if you please share.
Yeah, I just had one prop. And honestly, I don't know if I'm actually gonna bet it because I, don't like betting on the Packers. Don't like picking them on my fantasy teams. I'll throw the money line in a big parlay if they're heavy favorites against someone. That's
Yeah.
different though. Um, but the one
I mean,
prop I
they're
do
gonna
like,
beat the Jets. I mean, that's a
yeah,
given.
exactly. So, throw that in to juice the fucking parlay up a couple points. I got no
Yeah,
problem with that. Nothing wrong with that.
that pays for
Uh,
dinner.
yeah, the one prop I do like, Aaron Jones, over 5.5 rushing touchdowns this year. I just, like I said earlier, I personally think the Packers are going to run a lot more. AJ Dillon, he'll get his rushing touchdowns, but six rushing touchdowns for Aaron Jones this year. I think that's doable, and that's
I mean, didn't
minus
he have
112.
like 20 total last season or the year
Exactly,
before? I
exactly.
mean, it
So I
was
mean,
a
like
yeah.
six rushing touchdowns in
There
a
for a
year
team that's going to be
without.
in the red zone a ton.
Yeah,
That's
in a
value.
team without, you just lost your number one red zone target in Devontae Adams. Someone's got to get him, and I think six rushing touchdowns for Jones is very, very doable
You
this
can get
year.
that by lunchtime. Yeah, you can get by
Yeah,
the
you can
fuck
get
by
that in fucking one game against the Bears.
yeah, sure enough. Oh, jeez. All right. If you had no more on the Packers, we can go ahead and wrap that baby up and finish with the Vikings in the. Let's
Oh, that
see
was funny.
here. Let's see. What are my questions? What are my headliners in the Vikings? Do they just straight up do they have enough talent to win the division? They had a couple of key additions. I'll get to that. Jordan Hicks, Darius Smith, Patrick Peterson. So they're beefing up that defense because honestly, I mean the league is as if everyone saw that meme. The league is filled with Kirk Cousinses. So as long as they have the Kirk Cousins, they should be okay. Throwing to Justin Jefferson, handing the ball off to Delvin Cook, and when his shoulder doesn't work, they'll hand it off to Alexander Madison, who will do the exact same thing because that O line is pretty decent. So I don't know. Do they have enough talent to, you know, overcome the older brother that is the Packers, I guess, in this division? Are they going to finally get one over the hump? Because, like I said, week one, that may or more or less that might be their season. If they win that game, they can sit back and be like, all right, phew, we got it. Is we got to take care of the teams that we can now, beat the Jets, beat the fucking Bears, beat the Lions and shit like that. Uh, you know, after that, that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a breeze, but you're going to be looking good in terms of possibly winning the division, but maybe just sneaking into the wild card spot overall. And then just the overall outcome, just looking at the team, Dalvin Cook, can he maintain health? If he does, he's going to be the absolute workhorse. I see him going around like sixth overall in leagues, and that could be an absolute fucking steal for someone that's in the middle of their draft if they're in a 10 or 12 man league. So I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I already made some mentions of who they added. The only drop I remember was their tight end Kyle Rudolph. Yeah, Kyle Rudolph going to the Buccaneers, and that's kind of the only thing I remember. If you had, yeah, what were we thinking right off the back with the Vikings? How we feeling?
I personally like this team to win the division.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think with the addition of Zadarius Smith on defense, Daniil Hunter's still there. Looks like he's done with his hostage situation or whatever was going on a couple months back. I think they're finally going to put it all together this year. I think it's really easy, and again, it's sort of easy to say this, but again, maybe it's not in some people's mind. I think they have the most underrated wide receiver duo in football. I think Justin Jefferson is shown he's a top three, top five wide receiver, and Adam Thielen is just he can be a number one on a lot of teams by himself. He just gets overshadowed by Justin Jefferson because of what he's done in his little amount of time in the NFL already.
That and a little injury prone, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But you got Justin Jefferson coming in with the big chains, the fake teeth. He's doing the gritty. He's breaking records. And he's an amazing guy. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I think he's a top five, wide receiver in football right now, and he's only been in the league for 2 years. I got a rookie card of his I'm holding
Yeah.
on to. Hopefully it fucking, pays for fucking one of the college tuitions one day. Um, but I think they're going to put it all together this year,
Inflation.
especially with the weak Bears, the weak Lions, the question marks around the Packers. No Devontae Adams, a little couple holes on that defensive side of the ball now. I still think it's going to be neck and neck with the Packers and the Vikings, 10, 11, maybe 12 wins for one of those teams, but I don't see either of these, the Packers or the Vikings getting 13 wins. I think it's going to be 10, it's going to be 11, it's going
Yeah,
to
it's gonna be a very sloppy
maybe
North.
exactly maybe be fucking 12.
Yeah,
And I think they're the better all-around team. I think they've been in some big games the last couple of years where they've blown it. And it's been a couple of the games against the Packers where Devontae and Aaron Rodgers just cook them, and that's what they do. And
I mean they
they
lost
don't
to the
got to
Lions last year.
exactly, and you don't got to worry about that this year. You don't got to worry about Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
I think the Vikings are the best all around team in this division. Dalvin Cook changed his number. I think he's like number 4 or number 9 or something
number
now. So
4.
that'll
Yep,
yeah, that'll be weird getting used to. And even if he's not playing, you got Abdullah, fucking yeah, Amir Abdullah, right?
Alexander Madison.
Alex, who am I thinking of?
I don't know, Amir
Maybe
Abdullah.
that maybe that's like their third string running back. Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
think
right.
so.
They got Madison over there. He proved last year in the couple games that Cook didn't play that he can easily fill in that role.
Yeah.
And then I think a very underrated player on that team, Irv Smith Jr. Watch out for him
Yes.
at tight end. I think he could have a very, not a great year, but a very good, very productive year for them at tight end.
For a
Maybe
position in terms of fantasy where you're like, I don't know what to do. I didn't get the top 3 guys. That's probably a guy you can slip in there where you're like, all right, I can rely on him for a couple of weeks, maybe the entire year. We'll see how it goes. That's good. That's a good guy. That's a good name to roll the dice on, honestly.
exactly. I think he could put up, maybe 750 yards, 7, 8 touchdowns on the season, have a good season.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins has always liked throwing to his tight ends. Unfortunately, Kyle Rudolph, a lot of injury problems, getting up there in age the last couple of years, just hasn't been, the Kyle Rudolph from 4, 5, 6 years ago. So I'm high on Irv Smith Jr. If you can't get a top 3, 4, 5 tight end this year, and you got to draft one in the 9th, 10th round, 11th round, whatever. That's a name I definitely look out for. So I'm going to take the Vikings to win this division with, I'll say 11 wins for the Vikings. It might even come down to Packers, Vikings, both 10 and no, yeah, I'd say like 10 and 7, 11 and 6 with a
I
tiebreaker
mean,
in
yeah,
there,
honestly, it might
Yeah,
be the first team to double digit wins might win this division. I mean, it's as easy as that because both of them might be lingering, like you just said, around 10 wins, might be around 11 wins. That tiebreaker is going to be huge. Uh, so I mean, PointsBet has them at 9.5. I'm taking the over as well at plus 110. I see 10 maybe easy. 11 is possible if they steal that one against the Packers. That like I said, I'm counting 10 without them beating the Packers twice, without them beating the Packers once. So if they get 11 with them beating at least once, that looks great. Week 1, like I said, might determine their entire season right then and there. They win, they're hopeful all season long. If they don't, then they need that second game against the Packers in Green Bay later on in the season. That's not as hopeful. That doesn't sound as easy, especially like I said, later in the season, gonna be in the snow, gonna be in the fucking cold. Uh, but it's entirely possible, like you just said. I would love, on the docket, I would love to add Vikings to win this division too. But kind of, you already said it first, so I kind of feel like I'm stealing it from you. So I don't know who I would take officially to win the division, but it looks good. Especially if they come out week 1 and look great, look dominant, and not steal it necessarily, but just be competitive the entire time and maybe just win outright 28-21, 28-23 or something like that against the Packers. I don't know. It's not entirely out of the equation when, it's not Green Bay doesn't come out explosive week 1s every single time. They lost 35-3 last year, so to the Saints week 1. So see how it goes. Vikings entirely possible to win the division. Fuck it. I'm rolling with you. Vikings to win the division. Fuck it. We're locking it in. I guess that would be the official. And then if you do want that, if you want Vikings to win the division, you can get that at plus 250 on points bet. Like I said, Kirk Cousins MVP odds plus 4,500 if you're into that. My Let me see. Do I have one prop on them? Yeah, I have one prop on the Vikings. This one's not on points, but you need to go to DraftKings division total and go to the division total specials section. Under there, you'll be able to see the total division wins over under. They're set at 3.5. I'll take the over there at 3.5 plus 135. That could be easy. They can win both games against the Lions and both games against the Bears. So there you go. If they just win one against the Packers, that's sprinkling it on right then and there. So I like it. Vikings. I mean, I wish I had maybe more numbers on some more props and stuff like that, but I don't know. You kind of convinced me a little bit with just talking it up on a little bit of the dynamic duo that is Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen or Smith. Definitely, like you said, that was a good name to throw out there. And like we already said, Dalvin Cook, Alexander
Yeah.
Madison are going to
And
cook.
then I think another underrated player, and I couldn't remember his name earlier, so I wanted to look it up while you were talking. Had a very good end of the year for that team, and that's KJ Osborne, their third wide receiver. Looking at his last 6 games of the regular season last year, averaged 17 fantasy points and scored 5 touchdowns in the last 6 games,
Yeah, that was wild.
with targets. 7 targets, 9 targets, 3 targets, 7, 5, and 4 targets. So, being a number 3 right there, not ideal, maybe a bench wide receiver, but one of those wide receivers goes down. I think KJ Osborne can have a good year. A good year for the Vikings receiving wise. I had one bet, and it's going to stay in that wide receivers room, but it's not going to be Osborne. It's not going to be Justin Jefferson. I'm going to take over on Adam Thielen's receiving yards this year.
Okay.
FanDuel right now has him at 750 and a half yards. Over is minus 120. Looking at him from last year, he missed 4 games. Missed 4 games and had 726 yards. Just banking on the fact that he's going to stay healthy, I think he can get over 750. He's projected 797 on the ESPN fantasy app. So, stay healthy, doesn't miss the 4 games. I think he missed 4 games and he left one of the games early with an
Yeah.
injury. So
I think he
really,
left like the
really missed.
Thanksgiving game or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So he missed, 5 games theoretically, and put up 726 yards. So stay a little healthy this year, 750 and a half yards for Thielen. I'm going to take that over.
Yeah, that definitely sounds pretty good. Uh, I'm looking through everything. I think that about wraps up this NFC North breakdown brought to you by PointsBet. PointsBet, go to SYS9. Go ahead and plug it in. Get yourself some free bets. Helps you, helps us. Woo! Thank you very much. We can always, like I said, we can stay in the realm of NFL. We got a couple more little things. I don't know if you had some of that, but yeah, we have some more stuff after that as well. So I don't know. Where do we want to dip our toe in unless you had anything else on NFC North?
No, that's about it for the North. Hard Knocks was fucking fun. I can't wait for
Yes.
the second episode.
The
Uh,
midseason
yeah.
team was announced. The Arizona Cardinals. Any thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah, that'll be I hope this team struggles at the beginning of the year, and I particularly hope the midget quarterback, I forget his name, Kyler Murray struggles a little bit, just so we can get a little more deep dive into him and the drama that he's had with that organization. He just got a big contract. A lot of people think, me included, he wasn't deserving of it, at least this year. So if that team struggles at all, you're not going to have D Hop for the first 6. You don't have Christian Kirk anymore. That team struggles at all in the first half of the year. That mid-season Hard Knocks is going to be a must watch because it's going to be filled with
It's gonna
fucking
be chippy.
drama. Yeah,
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of, yeah, exactly. You might get a like a Jarvis Landry fucking type speech in the beginning where he's just fucking clapping his hands, pissed off in the wide receiver room. I mean, Jarvis Landry is not a team, but that's what happened during the Cleveland Browns Hard Knocks. He got at a
yeah.
little team meeting. I mean, yeah, sure enough, it could be exactly like that. It could be the polar opposite, but still, still be very competitive. Halfway, they do have a stretch in the middle of the season that's pretty competitive. So I don't know. And then you'll see probably end up seeing people within the division. I don't know exactly when they start, but in my mind it's like probably like week 6 or week 8, and then goes for about 4 or 5 weeks during that season. So I don't know. I like that. We'll see the fallout of you'll get the aftermath, obviously, the 6 games of DeAndre Hopkins being out. That was the preview, him actually just working out and doing just box jumps or whatever. That was like the reveal, the big reveal of who's going to be the midseason Hard Knocks, which I'm glad they're doing this another season of just more Hard
Yeah.
Knocks, more production like that. Absolutely love it. So if it's anything like this season, more of that. But I mean,
More
not everybody, yeah,
Metallica.
yeah, but not everybody has a Dan Campbell. So yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll see how that
More
goes.
Metallica. That ending of that last episode was awesome with the
Yes,
fucking no
absolutely.
leaf clover during
Yeah,
the
bringing it all back
family
together.
night or
Yeah,
whatever. That was
yeah,
sick. Yeah.
that was absolutely awesome. Yeah, so Hard Knocks was great. Definitely check that out. Big preseason stuff. Nothing really big takeaways other than like Zach Wilson getting injured. Doesn't really affect us all too much. He might end up. He's not going to miss like any big portion of the season. That's still kind of being decided. Drake London, another guy, another rookie. Or I mean, Zach Wilson isn't a rookie anymore, but Drake London, rookie on the Falcons, he goes down. Basically on the first professional play of his career. They're looking somewhat optimistic, but be on the whereabouts of him if you're looking to draft him in fantasy stuff like that. So be on the lookout. Other stuff, other quick headliners. James White retires, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Believe he holds the current record for like the most points in a Super Bowl if it was scored, if fantasy points were scored in it, something like
Yeah,
that.
I have heard something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, he had like 30 in that comeback against the Falcons. He had like 35 points if it was scored in PPR or some shit like that. So just something cool like that. I mean, he's cool. I mean, he hasn't really been all too relevant as of late, and just I mean, he probably just would have been another name in a very very bulky backfield with Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, and I'm pretty sure they got somebody else back there too. So good on him. Good for him to retire with all his faculties and all that. He doesn't have any broken bones or missing brain parts, so that's all cool. I don't know if you had any nice words to say on James.
Yo, yeah, I'll never forget James White. Thank you for the 2018 fantasy season. We went all the way to the championship that year. Unfortunately we lost in the finals. But going through some fucking running back troubles as most teams do in fantasy. I was forced to start James White all year that 2018 year. Had 7 receiving touchdowns, 5 receiving touchdowns. He was a PPR monster that year. He got me, I'd say, 8 point. He got at least 8 points every game from just catches,
Damn.
from just receptions, not including the 13 touchdowns that he scored that year and all the yards he accumulated. So he'll always have a special spot in my heart for that dominant 2018 for a fucking fantasy performance that year. I mean, you draft any running back really, and sitting on your bench, you gotta due to injuries or whatever, start him. He was consistently between like 12 and 16 points every single week. You'd be happy if like some low end starting running backs got you that every week. And I got that out of a bench running back. So
Yeah,
forever grateful.
that's awesome. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'll never forget he yeah, the big story from a couple years ago, his father abruptly passed away, and he took a couple weeks away from the team. And then his very first game back, he scores a touchdown, and that was just again one of those special moments that you always like to see. So yeah, enjoy retirement, and clears up a fucking very crowded backfield. So
Yes, it
if
does.
you guys were afraid to draft Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris. I have
Mm-hmm.
trouble saying names.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not to fear because you don't got James White contending with him anymore.
Yeah.
Who's the other
Uh
guy? They got someone else, some Taylor guy in their backfield
yeah,
too.
they have another
Yeah.
receiving back that they just love taking snaps away from Harris and Stevenson from. But yeah, so good on him, good on James White, going off into the sunset with like I said, all his intangibles and stuff like that. I was thinking about maybe getting our reaction to the top 100 list, but it's not complete just yet. Just initial reaction. David Montgomery at 98 and Mac Jones at 85 is an absolute crime. It should be a war crime. So people should be in jail. And only having, I guess, again, maybe a little bit of bias, having Roquan Smith only in mid 80s. Not a good look too. Not a good look when he's trying to like get a record setting contract and whatever. I don't know if that like I wouldn't like that'd be like a wrestler bringing up his like top PWI top 500 list ranking, but like it's just doesn't look good when you're only like mid 80s and you're like I want to be the number one paid linebacker in the league. And you're just like, okay, all right, we're gonna bring that back a little bit. You only have one recorded forced fumble, so we'll bring that back a little bit. I don't want to. That was just my initial reaction right then and there. I don't want to harp on it too much just because the list isn't done just yet. Maybe we get on it more when it's all done.
Yeah, we could talk a little bit more when it comes out. I do, one little gripe I do have, and I do understand why. Looking at number 83, Wyatt Teller for the Browns, I personally think he's the best fucking guard in football. And I understand linemen aren't flashy and nobody cares about them and they're fat and they're ugly. But I think he's the best guard in football, and 83 is a little high for that,
Yeah.
especially when you look on the list and they have their other guard, Joel Batonio at number 55. So I think Wyatt Teller's better than Batonio, and I get it. Teller's a little early or a little younger. He's been around a little less than Batonio, so he's probably a little more established, but I would switch those around. I'd put
Yeah.
Joe Batonio at 83 and Wyatt Teller at 55 and put Mac Jones in like the 300s because he does not deserve to be on that fucking
Yeah, he's
list
a
at
bus
all.
driver. He's just a bus
Yeah, I
driver.
think Justin Tucker should be top 10 too.
Yeah. He's numbered like 95 or something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
he's 94. He's
Yeah.
94.
Yeah.
Right, he's right next to like CD Lamb at 95. So
Yeah.
I'd put Justin Tucker, top five, probably. Just whatever spot Aaron Rodgers is at, move him. Just flip flop him. Put
Yeah.
Rodgers 94, and fucking Tucker wherever the cheater would be.
Yeah. Sidebar. Did you like the I think you mentioned it to me, the fucking final conversation in the Hard Knocks when he's like, oh, when I get to the O lineman at the end, it's like, oh, do you guys hold on to outfits that you'll know you'll fit into when you retire? He's like, yeah, I got
Yeah,
a bunch of those. Like, oh
that's
yeah, I
hilarious.
can't wait to be skinny or something like that. He's just like
Yeah,
can't they just know that their body's gonna transform. I mean, not overnight, but it's gonna be like the Joe Thomas. He's gonna be humongous, and then within a year, he's gonna have to drop 140 pounds just because it's not good for his body to maintain being 350 pounds. So yeah, it's just I just thought that was really cool too.
yeah, that was hilarious because especially being a fat guy, I know I have a couple shirts that I've bought that have either they were too small or they've shrunk,
Yeah.
and I'm like, damn, these are cool ass shirts, but I'm too fat to fucking wear them. And I'm like,
For
I'm gonna
now. For
get to the gym
now.
and I'm gonna fucking lose the weight. I'm gonna wear
Yeah.
this cool shirt. I definitely have a couple of those, but yeah, that was funny during the
Yeah.
little
100%
I think it was
relatable right
during the
there.
credits, so maybe
Yeah.
not everybody saw it, but if you
Yeah.
watch through the credits, you definitely seen that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, those are always the best sound bites during the credits for anyone that
Yeah.
doesn't watch it consistently. That's where again, during I think it was the Raiders Hard Knocks a couple of years ago. No, excuse me, that was the Browns Hard Knocks when Carl Nassib, he must have just watched Wolf on Wall Street or something like that, and he was like throwing off numbers. He's like, oh, you can get a certain amount of loan and get like this back on interest. He's just like, no, you can't. This isn't the 1970s anymore. So it's just always like sound bites like that where you like really get into the minds of these other players and all these other guys where you're like, oh, he's an idiot, or like, oh, that guy's actually funny. He's a good character. Last little thing I had on the NFL, that Antonio Brown quote. It's kind of made its rounds. I don't know. I don't really have it in front of me. I don't know the entire thing of it. It was essentially
Yeah.
just the headlines are gonna say he compared himself to Jesus. He basically said that he he wanted to be the fan. I don't know. It's that whole idea of Jimi Hendrix had never got to experience Jimi Hendrix. He's upset that he didn't get to experience Antonio.
Yeah, his biggest regret was never being able to watch himself play or
And
some
like,
bullshit.
fuck you. Like, that's the only proper
Yeah,
response to that is
that
fuck
really is
you.
fuck you.
Yeah, no, I mean, just what else can you say besides that,
I
honestly?
think
I mean,
he's becoming like a Kanye figure where he just thinks he's more than a human now. Like he thinks of
yeah.
himself as like a god.
I mean,
Like
he's got
there's he
mental issues, just like
oh
Kanye. He's got fucking mental problems, and
for
I wouldn't
sure.
blame it on CTE football. I would blame it on probably I don't know anything else that isn't that. Is that he's definitely all fucked up in the head naturally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with that. I don't I mean, is it even bathroom worthy at this point? This guy's just a fucking
I
ass wiper.
think, dude, I think we
he
already put
could.
him in there.
I mean, he's probably got a residency in there. I would just wouldn't waste our breath because he's probably gonna say something even stupider in 6 months. So I mean, that's about it. He's probably just gonna say straight up, "I'm Jesus," and he's gonna hold a gun. He's gonna be shooting it like a mall or something like that. Just
What?
something crazy. Bold predictions. That's happening in 6 months. Let's see. Like I said, I don't know if you had anything else on Antonio Brown. Maybe I'm missing another detail, but honestly, fuck him. He will ever be on my shit list for bait. You didn't no, you screwed me over in the finals. I know Jamar Chase dogged me in the championship belt league, but me playing Antonio Brown in the finals and other people probably doing that too, probably fucked over a lot of people. So forever right there. That's you. That's you, pal. Right there. Suck it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Suck it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that dude's a fucking jabroni.
That guy's an ass wipe.
Uh, Last thing on the NFL Top 100, I totally forgot. It's good. We got a fullback on the list. At number
Oh,
100, we got
Kyle
Kyle
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. So
Yes.
we got a fucking fullback on there.
Love
Return of
it.
the fullbacks, baby.
Love
Next
it.
year, I want to see two of them.
Yes. We'll get him and then oh no, that is the San Fran
Can't
running
even
back. Maybe
can't even name another
the guy
one.
on the Ravens isn't
What's
yeah.
his? Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he'll get in there.
He's also the like a defensive tackle.
Yeah,
Like he was
exactly.
drafted as a defensive tackle, but he just plays fullback.
It's
Uh,
just so
Fuck, what's
gritty.
Ricard, Patrick Ricard. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
exactly.
want to see him in the.
Mm,
Hey, he might be in the top 50 for all we know.
yeah, he'll be on the when they do like a special, like, oh, who just missed the list at 101, Patrick Ricard.
Yeah,
Yeah. Without further ado, we actually had some NBA. We haven't had some NBA news in a while. Haven't really been tapping in on them at all. So I have a couple quick little headliners before we tap into wrestling and finish off this episode. We've been going pretty deep, so I don't want to loom on it too long. If that's cool with you.
yeah,
Alrighty. Well then, NBA, the big news, big headliner throughout the week was the obviously Bill Russell passing away a couple weeks ago. That's very unfortunate, but the nice and honorable thing, what they did to honor Bill Russell, they're going to retire the number 6 on every single team, similar to how the MLB did it, retiring number 42 throughout the entire league. They are retiring the number 6 on every single basketball team in the NBA. I don't recall anybody right now with a big number who's a big name with the number 6 that has to change. But I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't be any big fuss. There's not going to be anybody that's like, oh, I'm grandfathered in. I'm number 6 right now. I'll just retire it later. Like, no, everyone's probably just going to be nice. No one's made any kerfuffle about it, so that's been really awesome. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's just, I feel like they already have the Bill Russell trophy. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the MVP, the finals MVP is the Bill Russell award. So, I mean, they already have that. They're going to have a stadium somewhere for him somewhere. They already got statues. So what else can you give to the guy other than just doing that? So this is the one of the best things you could do. And you're like, and that's always the thing, like, oh, like 50 years from now, 5-year-old kids like, why is nobody number 6? Well, son, Bill Russell, and then so on and so forth. So there you go. Awesome. Build the game. That's all.
Yeah.
That's nice and fun.
Yeah, classy move. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
should.
I actually looked up the other day because I was thinking the same thing as you. What players actually do wear the number 6 and would care? Uh, and you know what? There's actually a huge name on this list that I actually had no fucking idea. But a couple other names: Lance Stevenson, Lou Williams,
Oh, those
Kristaps Porzingis. They all wear number 6.
role
Quentin,
players don't matter.
exactly. Quentin Grimes, not sure who that is. Chicago favorite here. Alex Caruso wears number 6, so
Oh,
he's gonna have
okay.
to change that.
Ooh, okay.
But did you? I had no idea. Again, don't watch basketball, don't care about basketball. But did you fucking know that in the 2022 season, LeBron James was number 6 for the Lakers?
What? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I had no idea.
No, I thought he was
So
rocking
my
23.
question, no, he wore 26 this season, or he wore
Oh,
6 this season, not 26. Yeah, now I'm thinking
no, he didn't.
he did. He fucking did. Look it up. LeBron James wears number 6 for the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, but anyway, do you think he's gonna fucking relinquish that number? I mean, he did
I
the
mean, he's
same
gonna
shit
have
with
to.
I think LeBron's gonna pull some shit where, I'm gonna have to wear it for Bill to remember him and honor him. And LeBron, I feel like LeBron's the type of douchebag to where he's gonna he'll get some special permission to wear that number still. But no, I didn't even realize that fucking LeBron James wore number 6. What a dumb number. Like when you're picking out your jerseys, that might be the last number like that everybody wants. So for 6 to be retired, it's cool. It's a great way to honor Bill Russell, but it's like if he was number 1 or number 2 or number 5 or number 9 or an important number like that, like a fucking popular number, then it would be a bigger deal. But no one cares about number 6. So and just to take that number away from LeBron James now just makes me even
Yeah.
happier.
Like when
So
you go to the fast food stops, like the number 6 is usually like the fish sandwich, like nobody gets. So
yeah,
I mean,
no
it
one
makes
cares
total
about the
sense.
number
Yeah.
6. The only time I care about the number 6 is when it's before the number 9.
Yeah. I would say a six
Yeah.
pack, but who gets a 6-pack? You get a 24 pack,
No.
you fucking
Yeah,
pussy. I don't
yeah.
know.
Don't get it. 6 packs are so 1980.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go
Oh,
get a 6 pack of Heineken. No, I'm gonna get a
another
fucking
sidebar. You know what's really popular in Wisconsin? 4-packs. They don't do
incest.
yeah, besides when they're cracking on their cousin, they're usually doing with a 4-pack of Wisers or something like that. They don't have 6-packs up there. It's either 4-packs or they do the fucking 12
Wow.
pack. Yeah, that's weird.
Fucking
Yeah, when
idiots.
we go up to shows at the fucking rave and stuff like that, we go pop into the convenience stores. That's all you see is 4-packs and 40 ounces. I'm like, oh geez, I need to get out of here. Uh, so yeah, if you had anything else on Bill Russell, like I said, good him, tip of the cap, retiring the number 6. It is what it is. Yeah, you're right. I just checked. Yeah, but LeBron James switched over to number 6 because he quote nobody should be the number 23 after obviously after Michael Jordan. So now nobody can be the number 6. So maybe he goes back to 23. I don't
Yeah,
know. What an
told you
ass.
the dude's a
Yeah.
fucking clown.
What an ass wipe. Speaking of Jordan, the Jordan Challengers are going to be back in NBA 2K23. I know you're not really huge into those basketball games, but the Jordan Challenges, kind of rehashing them from 2K11. And I was kind of upset literally up until we started recording. And it reminded me that I'm like, wow, 2011. That was a while ago. That's an entire decade, an entire generation of kids that straight up hasn't played that game. So I know while, for me, it's not going to be as exciting, but this is going to be someone's first 2K game. This is going to be probably the first time being integrated with Jordan. So I'll be on the optimistic and nicer side and say this is pretty cool. The graphics on it look awesome. They're going to be obviously you're going to be going through all the key moments like the first round elimination against Cleveland, the Cavaliers, and doing the jump over Craig Eloy at the end. You actually do. I'm glad they kind of did this little connection with the colleges and shit. We're gonna do North Carolina moments, so the two.
Ooh,
Yeah, so you'll be able to see everyone's talking about how clean the North Carolina jerseys look. Oh, yeah, they look pretty fucking. That's honestly one of my favorite jerseys in sports. But I mean, yeah, just stuff like that. Going over like I said. So some of them are kind of dipping the toe into the original 10 that you would do in 2K11. Some of them are newer. Like I said, you get the opportunity to do the college stuff, but again, if you're looking at it in the terms of, oh, I've already done that, then just don't buy it. But if you got to look in this terms of like I said again, a whole generation of kids, a whole generation of 5-10-year-olds hasn't played 2K11, probably won't have the opportunity to because they're going to get the PS5. They're not going to go back to a PS3/PS4 and play these old games. So I don't know. I feel like it's pretty cool. And again, more opportunity, more learning opportunity for kids to learn about Jordan, grow the game. So there you go. Again, two big
yeah,
things on NBA to grow the game.
I do remember that game. I honestly think that might be the last 2K that I've bought at full price. Now
Get
I've played
this.
a
I bought it again at the flea market for $2 just because I wanted to play the Jordan challenges again. So yeah. So I have it sitting.
that's a good purchase.
I
You
have it
always got to
sitting
do that.
somewhere.
Like those
Yeah.
games that you grew up playing and you see them somewhere and you just like I got to buy it and I want to play it again. I did that recently with Max Payne and that's
Yeah.
a great fucking game, but that 2K game with the Jordan challenges was the last one that I bought full price. Now,
That's also you get
I've played the other
MVP
ones
Derrick
before.
Rose. And
Yeah.
you get a bunch of
I've
fucking good
played the other
players.
ones but I've bought them later, when they're 50% off, they're only
Mm-hmm.
$20 or
Yeah.
whatever. That's when I buy 2K games, but
Yeah.
I'll
And that's
probably have
exactly
to
when you should. I mean, yeah.
yeah. And I don't get me wrong, I like playing the 2K games. I'm not a big basketball guy, but playing the 2K games is fun. Playing, I think, any fucking sports game online against your buddies is fun. Make a little league, have a little fun, do fantasy drafts or whatever. This shit's fun. So, I might have to fucking pick that up now
Oh,
with
there you go.
bringing back the Jordan challenges.
Yeah, I kind of talking myself into it now. It might have to be at the very end where like a week or two before the season starts, so it's like 70 to 80% off and it's just completely obsolete. And I would just be like, all right, time to play these Jordan challenges. The 2K24 is about to come out. It's time to buy 2K23. I'm probably in the same boat as you. Let's see. Uh some noticeable schedule things came out for the NBA season. The Christmas schedule came out. That's one of the big days of the year for them. Notable thing before I get into that schedule, they're not going to be playing on election day. I don't know. Like I said, it's just some
That's
sort of
stupid.
yeah. I mean, it's a good day off, and then maybe they're just encouraging people to go out and go vote.
But we
Hey,
should get work off too.
yeah, I would.
If
That
there's no
I'm not.
sports, we shouldn't have to work either.
I'm fine with I'm fine with that. What are we? I mean, what are we even working to? Working to make bets on sports. So I mean, where's the cash flow? But let me see. Getting back to the Christmas schedule. So far, these are the games we are going to get. We're going to get Bucks versus Celtics. And I'm not sure this is entirely the order, but this kind of sounds right. Just going how they usually go from East Coast to West Coast time wise, just so on and so forth. So, opening game most likely going to be the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Celtics. We'll get 76ers and Knicks to follow afterward. We will get the I almost said we'll get the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. We will get the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks, second to last game. And then the nightcap will be the Grizzlies and the Warriors. Some pretty
Ooh,
solid matchups. I love that nightcap. Honestly,
yeah.
usually the nightcap game, it's usually exactly that. You're already probably sleeping. You already ate too much fucking holiday ham, Christmas ham. You're already passed out. So I mean that's gonna be fun to watch. That's actually gonna be fun to watch, especially a little added drama. I think it was Klay Thompson said it was some Grizzlies player that tweeted about them being like old heads or some shit like that. That they do it. So there's gonna be added drama in that game a little bit. They'll definitely make mention to it in the broadcast booth. But my only gripe is don't give me the Lakers. Fuck the Lakers. If you're gonna give me a West Coast team, give me the Timberwolves. Are gonna be young and up and coming. I mean, I got a little personal bias because they're my West Coast team. I've loved them ever since Kevin Love came in and started doing 30-30 games. But give me the young and up and coming Timberwolves. Like that's a young, exciting team I want to see. And in terms of the East Coast, fuck the Knicks. Get them out of there. They're gonna be so bad, so boring. Give me Miami or give me the Nets or something. I don't know. If it really came down to it, I know they're not gonna do like a cross town over the entire country game like that. But I don't know. Give me the Clippers if they're fully healthy. Let me see Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I don't want to see the talentless Knicks. Like they just ran. I don't know if you saw the starters on the Knicks. I don't even remember their names. They went and did like an amateur league or something like that, a little trios game. They lost by 15. They're bad. They are
What?
bad. Yeah, they lost to a bunch of fucking randos on the sidelines. Doesn't matter. So don't give me the Knicks. The 76ers are going to be barely palatable as long as Joel Embiid's healthy. That's going to be a 30-point game right there. Other than that, like I said, I don't. Those are the only two games I have gripes with. I feel like the Mavs will absolutely dog the Lakers, whether or not they have LeBron James and probably they're not even gonna have. They're just gonna have him. Honestly, there's no way Davis is gonna make it that deep. So it is what it is. I like it. Like I said, opening Bucks Celtics. Hurry up and get home from church so you can watch that game. 76ers and Knicks. That's gonna be a blowout. Fun game. Hopefully you're not traveling. Maybe like your aunt and your uncle's house. Probably like I will. Suns Nuggets. So maybe you're catching that on like the ESPN app or something like that. But like I said, nightcap Grizzlies Warriors. That's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that'll be fun watching fucking Ja going up against the defending champs.
Yes, Ja versus Curry. I mean that entire Grizzlies team, even when they don't have Ja Morant, they do very very well. So I mean they have a very solid core. It's just going to be a matter of if that team and that front office is going to want to pay them. So we'll see how that is maintained. I have one little thing on the NBA, and it actually does pertain to Chicago somewhat. We have Giannis to Chicago question mark. Honestly, it was just dumb to even tease it. Giannis had some little quote like along the lines down my career. Maybe I play for Chicago, but for now, I'm like dedicated to Milwaukee. The big fucking whoop. As a Bulls fan, you should be not excited at all. That's just a complete throwaway quote. There's nothing sustainable from that. There's nothing to grab from that at all. He's not coming here anytime soon. And even when he does, it'll probably just be like every other superstar that we've gotten 5 years or more past their prime and just another big name. And I'll give you examples. Pau Gasol, Rajon Rondo, Dwayne Wade, DeMar DeRozan. We'll see how that goes. But do I really need to go on? Please don't say yes because I didn't write any more names down. But for the sake of this, yeah, I mean, just I don't really see this. Just don't grasp at straws. Like I said, maybe wow, returning for his 18th year, Giannis Antetokounmpo at starting center for the Bulls. That's what we'll probably end up getting if we're going to get Giannis at all. So I don't know. I wouldn't be excited. What did you think if you heard it at all?
No, I think he was just taking a little shot at Bulls fans, maybe trying to tease them a little bit into
Yeah, maybe.
thinking somewhere down the line. No, I mean, there's there's no reason for him ever to leave the Bucks right now. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the best player in basketball. He's a champion. He's an MVP. He's fucking beloved in that town. So
Yeah.
there's absolutely no reason for him to leave.
Yeah, well, no, not a reason at all. Exactly, especially if they were literally just a Chris Middleton away from possibly being in the NBA Finals again. So it is what it is. That was it on NBA. I doubt you had anything else on there. Maybe anything to add, but for if you don't, we can finish it off with some wrestling.
Yeah, let's talk some wrestling because we got some rumors. We got some fucking rumors we got to talk about
We got
coming up
rumors, but we got a
potentially.
confirmation, baby.
Wait,
CM
what?
Punk is back.
Oh, I
CM
thought you were
Punk.
talking about someone else. I was
Oh
like,
no,
did
no,
something
no.
happen in the 2 hours we were
No.
recording? I didn't hear.
I wish that would have been
Oh,
pretty fucking awesome if we could just like break
uh,
some news right away. But no,
yeah.
CM Punk is back. He didn't tell me at our meet and greet when we became best friends that he was coming back. So I'm a little disappointed that I didn't know firsthand. But knowing me, I probably would have spilled the beans and been like, "Hey, it's coming. And he's gonna be. Yeah, I know he's gonna be at this show. Yeah, so good on him for not telling me. Like I said, so I'll keep in touch, Phil. I'll hit you up. So yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. That's huge fucking news. If again for anyone that didn't see, that was the big surprise guest at Quake at the Lake. There was no official of someone was going to come back, but knowing how Tony Khan books these championship matches on TV, usually something like that kind of crazy happens. So good to see him coming in for the save at the end. Who was it? The Jericho Appreciation Society comes out, beats up Mox, and then the Blackpool Combat Club kind of come out and they're looking for more help. Who comes? It's CM Punk. Yeah, you hear the fucking I'm Mussolini and me. That's a pop up for the White Sox. Uh, yeah, so good on them. Hopefully, this is optimistic that he's back fully healthy for All Out, which is another. Yeah, I mean it's coming up to 2.5 weeks. So heal up, stay healthy, stay focused. It's like I said, trends are looking in the direction of positive for CM Punk versus John Moxley for this interim championship to be mashed together. How you feeling on CM Punk being back?
Oh, it's always awesome to have him back. Definitely earlier than expected. I know we got the rumors that he wasn't going to be ready for All Out. Was he medically cleared? I know he came back, last week, but was he actually medically cleared to wrestle,
Probably not
or
medically
did
cleared
he?
to wrestle, but I mean, if he's out there doing that, he's probably
Yeah,
cleared in
that's what
some
I'm
sort of
thinking.
capacity to do
Yeah.
something. So,
So yeah,
yeah.
perfect timing.
I mean, if he
Fucking
wasn't cleared, like they don't have Daniel Bryan cleared just yet, or Bryan Danielson cleared exactly. But I mean, he came out for what am I talking about? He already had a match with fucking Daniel Garcia. So I mean, when they didn't have him, he only cut a promo. If he wasn't ready to go, he wouldn't have did the clothesline and the other fucking
okay.
yeah. So I feel yeah, he's ready to go. He's probably not 100%, but he's ready to go.
Yeah, perfect timing. All Out in Chicago, right around the corner. We're gonna fucking be there.
Yes.
I really hope we get they teased it, the Moxley CM Punk match for the interim title. Um yeah, it's always good. It wouldn't be the same like to have a pay-per-view in Chicago without CM Punk there. And I know a
Yeah.
lot of people were upset he wasn't there for the for the New Japan Forbidden Door thing. People were saying he was going to have a who was he supposed to wrestle again there?
Oh Jesus! When
I
they
forgot all their guys, all
yeah
the
when they
dudes'
when I'm
names.
taken away from it for so long, I
Yeah.
forget because they're
But a lot of people were upset there in Chicago defending the belt at this new Forbidden Door pay-per-view. A lot of people were upset about that. But sort of right the ship a little bit, comes back earlier than all of us were expected. And we're gonna have a hell of a match between what we all assume to be him and John Moxley for the title in a couple weeks over at what fucking Now Arena, baby. That's gonna be
yes
awesome.
yeah I cannot wait. That's gonna be so much fun. Maybe I don't know if you saw in our little group chat they have the all out side party that might be a little fun to get to maybe early on. They're gonna be doing Hungry Hungry Hippos in person.
Oh, jeez.
Mike said he's got that. He's gonna win. He'll upgrade our tickets, and then yeah, we'll be out. Probably gonna be guys like Peter Avalon walking around, just doing whatever. Maybe like Colt
Yeah,
Cabana or some shit
fucking
like that.
Danhausen's gonna be hosting it, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be walking. Yeah,
That's
he's gonna be hosting. So
awesome.
that'll be fun. Maybe he'll curse you or some shit like that. Who
Oh,
might be cursed is Chris Statlander coming out
yeah.
hearing that she might have torn her ACL. Just not looking good. Honestly, I marked this down on our notes. She might have the worst luck in AEW history so far in this 3 or 4 year span. She's like I said, this last injury, tearing her ACL, getting this humongous rocket fucking push on her back, just getting the rocket pack on her back and getting the huge push. And then just, yeah, getting another injury like this after another massive push that she was given before. I believe it was Nyla Rose got body slammed onto her knee by Britt Baker, and that fucked up her knee again. So, I mean, that was, like I said, that was mid pandemic. So, uh, so far, 2 attempts to just push her to the moon and get a title on her, and just not for all for naught as of right now. So it's gonna be another year for Statlander. It looks like hopeful, and she's a fan favorite, so it's not gonna be like she's just gonna be pushed to the side and gone forever. People are gonna be like, damn, can't wait for Statlander. And people on Twitter are gonna be like, day number 260 without Statlander. Can't wait for her to come back and shit like that. So she's gonna be, with as long as everything goes well, surgery wise, restructuring wise, she should have a pretty fine career still afterward with as it all comes. But definitely unfortunate with this news. Obviously, a torn ACL that's your shelved for 9 to 12 months, so it's a bummer.
Yeah, I like watching her wrestle. I'm super glad she started to get the push because I'm also glad she abandoned that alien gimmick and she's just sort of
Yeah.
Chris Statlander now. I am gonna miss the boop because I think sort of like the little what do they call them? The little orange Cassidy gimmick kicks that everybody gets crazy into. It was like the same thing whenever she used to boop someone, but
Yep.
I wish she fucking booped me, dude. Oh, great. Chris Statlander, I love you if you're listening. Yeah, it sucks.
And if you are, retweet our show so you can
Yeah,
fucking make us popular.
great Instagram follow too. Oh, she is something else. That's a woman, dude.
He's from outer
But
space.
oh, dude, fucking don't even get me started. Uh,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, upset to see her hurt. What'd she say? The rumor is that she blew out her knee, tore her ACL.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
the given. Yeah, it might just be a torn ACL. The MCL might be not ruptured. That's what they're being hopeful about, but it could possibly be both.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, that's a
Damn,
rough
right
one.
when she was about to get a fucking big push.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, the women's division in AEW has been a little lackluster, to say the least. But Thunder Rosa, DMD, Jamie Hayter.
He's
I
hurt
like,
too.
I
Jamie
like.
Hayter
Oh,
just got
she
hurt.
is too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
all falling apart. You know what? Trish Stratus just fucking signed back with the WWE too. So bring her.
Yeah,
Did you hear
no.
about that?
Yeah, I did. She's gonna do a couple house shows, so probably nothing big on
Fucking
TV.
bring her on over.
Yeah, no.
Push Sky Blue to
No,
the
I'm
house.
good. They actually have Madison Rain, former Impact Knockouts champion. She's gonna oversee. She just had a match with Jade Cargill, but I think it might be exactly what, just to introduce her to the company slash give being able to give Jade Cargill a little bit of a rub and shit like that. Jade Cargill is what, 36-0 right now. She's the big fucking title champion winner, longest streak in all of wrestling right now. So I just think that it's going to be good. That maybe with a little direction, stuff like that's going to get, just a little less chaotic. Just like I said, exactly what I just said. Just structure, get people going, not have it all over the fucking place. I mean, they're Tony Khan slowly, not he's distributing power kind of evenly, giving a lot of executives, people things. So like Sanjay Dutt, Pat Buck, Tony Schiavone, QT Marshall, and Madison Rain. And I might be one other person, like I said, kind of getting these executive roles, overseeing things, making sure that oh, we just had a chair spot here in this segment. Let's not have a chair spot here in this segment. Oh, I just talked about, being betrayed by so and so in this one. Let's not have a betrayal segment in the next one. Just little shit like that. It's going to be they're having team meetings and shit like that. But hopefully, structure. That's all we want from the women's division in AEW, because never really had that. You had spurts. You've had the talent. Obviously, Britt Baker's been there from the beginning. We've had all these people here, and there. It just never had the structure of like, okay, this is a division. This is a women's division we want to see. We want to pay money to go see for. These aren't bathroom break matches. That's what we want.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. What's the one name of the fucking guy chick wrestler who just wrestled the other day?
Sunny
No,
Kiss.
the other, yeah, she just had a match and she joined the who'd she turn on? She joined
On
someone.
Orange Cassidy and joined
Yeah.
Patrick Barra. I mean, I don't know how to say his last name, but I like him. He's a good signing. All these AEW doesn't have big guys. They just don't have large people. I mean, it's just how it is. They're Adam Page is probably like 6'2", 6'3", and like that's like their ideal of like what the world champion would be. Like when you see a guy that's 6'6", 6'8", 350, he's a
Yeah,
big
you get
noticeable,
fucking
a big
you get
boy.
Redbeard, Lance
Yeah,
Archer.
yeah, exactly.
What's the guy's name from with the House of Black? Just
King
got the
Brody King.
Brody King. Yeah.
Yeah, when they're noticeably just
Yeah, you're. I guess
larger.
I've never thought about that. There's not a lot of huge guys.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Luchasaurus,
Yeah,
like he's not
Luchasaurus.
huge,
Yeah,
huge. He's tall.
he's just tall. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
6'6", but he's not like he's very lean. He's very built for his size. So I mean, there's not like the humongous 7-footers other than Sugman Singh, but he's not like a brute. We got like everyone's comparing him to just because he kind of looks like Brock Lesnar. Like that's AW's Brock Lesnar, but it's not the same tone. He's got tattoos everywhere, so good on him. As long as they push him and like, they got the same thing in like a Wardlow build. Like you have him there, two big fucking meaty guys that they get in there and just fucking, I don't know, they can do something like that. But they probably won't meet. They're kind of dropping the ball on Wardlow a little bit. Kind of seems like Cody Rhodes may have fucking jinxed that belt on the way out. Never since whoever held that belt, as soon as they get it, they kind of just peter out and shit all over the place. So yeah, I think he put a hex on that TNT title. Without further ado, we can wrap up the show with a guess of who is the Young Bucks trios partner. Everyone is saying it's Kenny. Apparently, Kenny Omega called in on being the elite. Who is it?
I
Anybody?
mean, that's my only guess. I
That's your
can't
only
think of
guess?
anybody
Yeah.
else. I mean, if you I know you saw the clip. They played like the little half a second audio bite from like his theme song. Did you hear that at the end of it?
No, I didn't
No,
actually.
right,
No.
right when I know I love AEW, but I still don't know the difference between Matt and Nick Jackson. I probably never will. Whichever young buck that was, he hung up the phone, and at the beginning of Kenny Omega's song, there's like that
that was
sound.
yeah, that was Matt Jackson that answered the phone.
Okay,
Yeah.
right when he hung up the phone, they played that little sound
Oh,
as like they
okay.
transition to the next part of the YouTube video.
Okay.
So
All
I'm
right.
hoping that it's Kenny because he's my favorite. I fucking miss him, and I can't wait till he's back, dude.
And I don't know how the tournament is structured in terms of who's where and like what legs can actually meet in the finals, but I see Will Ospreay and the Aussie Open or whatever the hell the other
Aussie
two
Open,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, I see those three and one end of the tournament. And if the Young Bucks and their mystery opponent, who could probably end up being Omega, that could probably end up being the finals right there. Is Young Bucks, Omega, Osprey, and Aussie Open, and that could be so awesome considering that I don't know if we went over this, but Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay were having a little bit of words back and forth. Well, not some words, just some shots back and forth on each other, just on Twitter over these past few months or so. If you saw, Kenny Omega commented on Will Ospreay and like his performances and shit like that. Will Ospreay kind of took it to heart, so he went ahead and performed Kenny Omega's move, the one winged angel, and forced his opponent to kick
Oh,
out,
I did see
making
that.
making it, oh my. And then Will Ospreay, obviously him being the ass wipe, he purposely made his opponent kick out of it. He's like, oh my god, he's the first person to kick out of the one winged angel. He's making a fucking, he's just fucking trolling Kenny Omega, because obviously that's gonna be the big ticket that sells it, when it's probably Omega versus Hangman 2. It's who's gonna kick out of Omega's one winged angel. And like, sure enough, it's just Will Ospreay taking a shit all over that idea, and that's so funny to me. So
That
just, and
is.
then and then Omega commented on like that, is like, oh, you're a fucking child, this and that. So just, they get them in the ring and they're able to just have some sort of thing like that. That's gonna blow the roof off the building, no matter where it is. So that would be fucking amazing. The only name, and I mean the only name that I can really realistically throw in there that isn't Kenny Omega, is maybe Marty Skrull. And the only thing that's pulling that back is the obvious reasons of why Marty Skrull basically got canceled 3 years ago. He's fooling around with some 16-year-olds. And that's,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So, and it's over in England. It's a little different over there across the pond, but still frowned upon very much just about everywhere. So yeah, so I don't know if he's ever really going to be in the mainstream. He's still wrestling. He's not like Joey Ryan, completely blackballed from wrestling, working at Disney World, but he's still there. I don't know. That's the only other guy I put in my mind. Maybe Flip Gordon out. He's not even on the Pro Wrestling Tees fucking website anymore. So I mean, all signs, everyone, Kenny Omega, it's basically just short of Kenny Omega tweeting out saying, I'm the tag team partner on Wednesday night, tune in. That's the only thing short of what's left to say. So Kenny Omega, most likely 99.9% odds possibility of him being the trios tag team partner.
oh yeah, I
And
hope
yeah,
so.
man, you know what? I can't. I wouldn't put it past it either. I love the idea of it, and I hope it is exactly what I just said. Hopefully, it's Will Ospreay and Aussie Open versus the Young Bucks and Omega for the trios title.
Yeah, and Omega finishes fucking Will Ospreay with the one winged angel.
Mm.
Doesn't kick out of it either.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, how funny would it be? I've thought of this a couple times. Like, what if in a match Kenny Omega hits the one winged angel on someone and the match is supposed to be over, but like he gets him in the pin and like someone slips or like they botch the pin
Oh
and
my
the dude
god.
like accidentally gets out of the pin? How fucking terrible would that be? Like all
Oh
these
yeah, no.
years
If
of building up
if
that
Paul
move
Turner just
for an
yeah.
accident or Johnny Hungy. You know,
Mm.
that douchebag. I can't stand that midget.
Yeah, no,
Or
it's gonna
fucking,
really suck if it's like a Darby Allen guy that kicks
or
out of it.
even worse, one of the ass boys.
No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't. I wouldn't be
they.
opposed to it.
Oh,
Austin
dude.
Gunn kicking out. Oh yeah, that's great.
I thought about that randomly a couple weeks ago. I was like, what if someone accidentally like slipped during the pin and like fucking ruined that like storyline forever?
Oh yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's the one thing. Yeah, it's just like you can't do that. Yeah, I think that's just you're like, okay, don't miss your mark. That's the one thing they can't miss is don't. As soon as the one winged angel is hit, it's the 3 count, no matter what.
Yeah.
His shoulders can be up. He could be standing up on his feet. You're counting 1, 2, 3, and you're saying ring that bell. That's what you're doing if you're the referee. So yeah, you got no more on wrestling. You got nothing else. That about wraps this baby up. It's been a long one, but it's well deserved. We talk about the Bears
That's what
for
she
so
said.
yeah. Thank you. You hit me
Not to
again
me,
with that.
though.
Oh
Not
gee.
to me,
Oh, I'm
unfortunately.
sorry.
Wah, wah, wah.
Mm. Oh geez. Well, wish we ended more positive, but that's a good way to end it too. Fucking thank you to everybody. Thank you to Troy. Always calling in, whether or
Hey,
not you got
Troy,
stuck
I
yet
got a
there.
fucking surprise for you, bud. Let me know when you're working. I'm gonna stop by the Dollar Tree. I got something to drop off for you. Hit me up on the
Mm,
fucking Twitters, on the
yes.
Instagrams, and I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna stop by, give you a little something from the
Yes,
Degenerates
bro.
podcast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. So yes, thank you to Troy. That's obviously because if you're such a loyal listener, maybe you'll get shit like that too. But yeah. Yeah, thank you to that. Thank you. Points bet code SYS9. We did our breakdown. Oh shit, we never spun the wheel to see who we're gonna break down
Oh,
next
let's
week.
spin the fucking
Holy
wheel.
shit, that's a good thing we caught that. Good thing we caught
Oh,
that.
let's see. Who have we done already? We've done NFC North. We've
We've done
done
the
the
entire
NFC
NFC.
East.
We've done
Oh
the entire
shit.
NFC. The only AFC we did was the AFC East. So we have 3 divisions left, all AFC. AFC North, the AFC West, and the AFC South. Let's see. Out of these 3, who do we want to see right now? I just want to break
Uh,
down the Chargers, Chiefs,
yeah, that's what I was
fucking
thinking.
Broncos
That's what I'm
already.
thinking for sure.
Honestly. I mean, it's not focusing, but let's see. We got the AFC West. That's
Let's
exactly who we're
go.
going to
We
talk
get the
about.
Weast, baby. The
Damn.
Weast.
That's 2 weeks in a row. You're like, I don't want to break down the Bears. We get the NFC North. And I'm like, hey, let's
Yeah,
break down the Chargers. We get the AFC West.
let's do
So
it.
sure enough, we will get probably the most dominant division this year, the most competitive Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos. What the fuck is Russ been saying? Unlimited. So we're gonna have an unlimited breakdown next week. It's brought to you by PointsBet. Again, thank you to
Baby
everyone
Rutson,
listening.
forever unclean. I love when he says that.
Yes. Oh shit. Take care. It's been a longest goodbye in Degenerates history. So take care. Woo.